should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better. Don't even know where to begin. If I allow myself to dream, will it be as good as it seems? Pull me out of this place in the middle, nothing more to embrace in the middle, If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I Take me up into the mountains, send me off into the wild. Misery is still a path I would choose if the alternatives are worse. I guess it's time to find a friend, one who will stick by to the end. Going out of my mind in the middle, wasting all of my time in the middle, I take a bite and spit it out, unaware of what it's about. I'm not that good at faking it. I feel somehow I've broken it. I don't believe I'm part of it. If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Nothing really matters at all. Pull me out of this place in the middle, nothing more to embrace in the middle,
This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hey everyone, so good to see you today on this Wednesday, I think, Thursday. My goodness, the week has gotten away from me. Hey Bad Girl, Rubber Ramada, Abellis, Hio, Indie Girl, Sue Joy, Jenny, Jen, my lovely, Cozy Constellations, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. KJ, Sandra, let's see, Heather Wells, good to see you. Andrea, good to see you. Sarah, Melissa, good to see you. Thank you all for being here. I have some documents I want to start off by reading to you guys, and I'm going to ask y'all a question. And then I want to talk about an email I got that brought up some pretty interesting things that I would love to discuss with y'all. First, we're going to start with this. Now, I have it printed out because that makes it easier for me to read. I can try to zoom in a little bit, but it's a screenshot, so I don't know if that'll make it easier to read. Now, this is a notice of taking depositions. So it says, comes now the defendant herein and named above, Stephan Stearns, by and through the undersigned attorney, and herewith gives notice of taking of depositions of the below intended individuals for the office of public defender, and it gives the address. Now, the question I want to ask you, I have these people's statement, like the first statements they gave to police, and I can tell you who they are, and we can listen to them, or we can continue our discussion about Jen. So you have to let me know what you want to do. So on February 3rd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. and 1:50 p.m., it's going to be Barbara and Gerald. That's the Canadian neighbors. On the 3rd of February this year, 2:15, they're going to talk to the ex-girlfriend, Marley, who said that he had her lay down and pretend to be deceased. They're going to talk to James Carpenter on the 18th at 1:30. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. On the 18th at 2 p.m., they're going to talk to Thomas. That's the flat tire witness. On the 18th of February at 2:30, they're going to talk to Brittany. That's the gas station attendant. And then the 21st at 1:30 and 2, they're going to talk to Angela DeLuca. I think that's either the roommate or somebody from the school. The 2 p.m. one, Elizabeth Ellis, is a teacher at the school. And then the 21st at 2:30, they're going to talk to Jared Detective Fagan. And that's a Zoom from Sarasota County. So, hey, Abellis. Hey, JPL. Thank you for being here. Anders, good to see you. So those are the people they're going to be taking depositions from soon. I would love to find out who Detective Fagan from Sarasota County is and how he's involved. This came out on the 15th at 11:05, and this is a notice of provision of state's amended witness list. It tells us, comes now the state of Florida by and through the undersigned assistant state attorney, and files this notice of provision of amended witness list, certifying that on the date of filing the instant notice of provision of amended witness list, the undersigned assistant state attorney electronically served upon the defendant an amended list of names and addresses of persons known to the state of Florida to have information that may be relevant to any offense charged or any defense thereto, or to any similar fact evidence to be presented at trial under section, and it gives section, Florida statutes that were discovered subsequent to compliance with rule number. And that's what that says. And then on the back, it just gives us a list of, names and things like that. So I wanted to share that with you real quick. Also, I want to talk about this email I got. Hey, Jill. I'm going to stop sharing this while I pull this email up real quick because I don't want to give out this person's personal information. But Okay, sorry. I got a FOIA back and I was trying to see what it was. Okay. Let me scroll up and then I will share my screen. They said some things that I found really interesting. Hold on just a minute. Okay, this is kind of a long email. I'm going to read it to you. Actually, we'll start down here because this is kind of the most important part. This talks about Gavin Fish talking to this lady about basically how groomers groom their victims, and basically saying that Stephan groomed Jen. Okay. I'll start here. Then I remembered the chat conversation about her being baked a lot. I recall the evidence of drugs found in Stephen Stern's car after it was seized, and my thoughts were, no wonder he was up all night and was so tired in his interview. I've seen cops question people who are being suspected of being under the influence of something, and if they wanted to pursue it, they would have them remove their glasses. During the initial body cam footage and the TV interview, she's wearing them, so I couldn't figure out how that would come into play. Also, bear in mind, Madeline Soto's glasses have never been disclosed in any evidence that we know of unless they were found in the dumpster, and we're not privy to that data yet. I have questioned whether he was her hookup for drugs other than MMJ, and I'm sure some of the data recovered from either of their cell phones may indicate some activity. The one thing neither of them will ever bring up is drug use beyond marijuana in the home. I suspect Ellie is keeping this information close to their chest for future charges, which appear to be racking up. After all, derivative immunity has its limitations. Back to, hold on. Okay. Back to checked into everything, and they are confident he acted alone without Jennifer Soto's knowledge. I lean towards his use of violent threats towards Jen Soto to keep her silent, and I suspect that Jen Soto didn't see her that night at all. I now think along the lines that he is controlling the entire narrative from the time Jen Soto got home that night and onward as his mission is unfolding, trying to figure out how to compensate for the flat tire and trying to convince everyone of his lies at the same time. It occurred to me that if he had already taken her life before Jen Soto got home, but told Jen Soto she was already asleep upstairs, then Jen Soto may not have questioned it at all in that moment because of the have her go to sleep now text. I still wonder at what point Stephen Stern's telling Jen Soto what in order to cover up what he's done and possibly make things look like Jen Soto is involved in the plan, even perhaps planning on framing her. I'm leaning towards telling Jen Soto that Madeline Soto has overdosed. We need to take her somewhere where she will wake up and find herself abducted. I also lean towards the second crock being part of the entire cover up or the frame up. Stephen Stearns knows what Jen Soto pays attention to, and that pile of shoes mixed under the clothing next to a Christmas tree that's been up still for 2 months tells me Jen Soto most likely is not focused on that area. And if she noticed the white crock, she would most likely think it was her own. If she still really did believe Madeline Soto had both her Crocs on, I lean towards the OD scenario or overdose scenario because I can only picture Stephen Stearns telling Jen Soto how bad it would be if they were to be made known. Now he can blame Jen Soto. She clams up and goes along with whatever plan he tells her to do and say to keep her from finding herself in a DFCS investigations. I'll read this last paragraph. Some of Jen Soto's reactions in this video make me begin to wonder that perhaps she is genuinely that naive and gullible to Stephen Stern's manipulation and believed what he was saying. I see cognitive dissonance, plausible deniability, and symptoms of being gaslighted as well. I do not believe she will get a free pass, nor do I think she should. It seems we ourselves can articulate what charges could possibly be forthcoming. I feel as though law enforcement will need everything they can drum up for the second trial, and whatever comes out of trial 1 will be brought into trial 2. That is permissible. I also feel that after Jen Soto spoke with law enforcement, her attorney present in that interview and the subsequent supposed disappearance, that it is more likely her attorney has her sequestered and is prepping her deeply for trial 1. She will need to have explanations ready for the questions from both sides, and thinking on her toes isn't her forte. She's been groomed to do what she's told, and she appears to be self-absorbed to the point she's really not paying much attention since Stephan Stearns had everything under control. It's most likely a huge I can't say that word. Paradigm paradigm shift. I can't say it right. I'm sorry. For her, and she may be undergoing counseling and therapy as well. So I wanted to know what y'all thought about that. I could see a lot of it being accurate. I mean, a lot of it makes sense. If the person who wrote the email wants to let y'all know that they wrote it, they're more than welcome. I just wasn't going to say their name out loud. Hey, Cara, good to see you. Queen Olive Ruthann, it's good to see you. Sue Joy, good to see you. Joseph, Paradigm, thank you. I appreciate that. Joseph, good to see you. And hey, Michelle. So we're going to continue. Oh, hold on. I got to pull it up before I can share it with y'all. We're going to continue going over Jen Soto's interview with police and talking about, you know, how did we get to he acted independently, especially when they're grilling her this hard. Maybe we can get into the immunity interview as well. So I will start with what we were talking about yesterday. I know a lot of you shared your thoughts and opinions on that. We'll go into what they said and why we're talking about this. I'm at a loss for words. Hey, Joyous. Okay, hold on. Now I can pull it up. Hey, Meandering. Y'all let me know if y'all thought about it and can figure anything else out along these lines. Let's listen to this real quick and we'll jump back into our interview.
I mean, without getting too much into my investigation in the narrative, it did not appear to be that way, that they were working together.
Okay.
Because I will tell you this, we have spent months, thousands of hours, literally going line by line through his phone and her phone, and there is nothing to suggest that theory, that they were working together.
Could they be working independent?
Well, Stephan was working independent.
He was.
I can tell you that, yes.
Okay, so he was involved in the criminal enterprise.
Well, I don't want to say criminal enterprise, but the stuff that was found on his phone pretty much painted the picture of the whole case.
Okay.
So again, if the stuff on his phone painted the picture of the whole case and he was working independently, that means Jen's not involved. I'm heartbroken. I'm going to get this interview that we were going over yesterday pulled up, and then I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up and share their thoughts, opinions, and speculations. Speculations. Hold on just a minute. I'm waiting on some more info, and if they get it to me today, I will definitely share it with you guys. But I don't have it yet. Where is it? Sometimes I get lost. Oh, there it is. Right there in my face. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and play this so we can talk about it. And I'll drop the link.
I don't want to believe he killed her. But from what you guys are telling me, he must have killed her Sunday night and snuck her body out in the morning. That
Hold on.
photo you guys showed me of her still.
They just asked her to say what she thought could have happened, and she gives a pretty accurate assessment. It's like she's telling them what happened. So again, she's not involved. Like, how do you know? How can you give us pretty much exactly what happened but you're not involved. Hey, Sarah Lee, good to see you. I just dropped the link if anybody wants to come up. I backed it up a little bit.
Okay. So what do you think happens?
Hey, all things serious.
Other than him killing her, what do you think made him snap?
I don't know. Theories. I keep hearing.
Tell me your theories, because here's the deal: we don't go home until she's found.
No, I know.
So what are your theories?
What I've heard is, what if she upset him and threatened to tell me and say that she was going to tell me, and he needed to shut that down. That's the only thing.
What do you think?
I believe. I don't want to believe he killed her. But from what you guys are telling me, he must have killed her Sunday night and snuck her body out in the morning. That photo you guys showed me of her smoking in the car.
You don't want to believe he killed her.
I want to believe she's still alive and that she got.
That's a pretty accurate description of what could have possibly happened. Hey, Sarah. It's good to see you. Florida girl says she may not be involved in the business, according to the phones, but she sure did neglect Maddie, turn a blind eye, making Maddie available to Stephan. Evidence doesn't reach a standard for trial. So, and hi, Lucky, could we not bring that, like how... Like, she's not even the best witness. We don't need her as a witness because there's enough evidence on Stephan's phone to bury him 6 feet under the jail. So we're just tossing all of the possible charges for Jen Soto and her involvement out the door so she can testify in a trial where she's not even necessarily needed. Lucky said she asked if she was going to be arrested in this interview. She's scared and covering. Plus, she says things that happened, i.e. put her in the trunk, alligator choked. Right. And they're still, I mean, the interview I just played is from July, and they're saying she's not, Stephan worked independently. She said, what if he heard her and was going to tell her? She said, what if he heard and was going to tell her? Who said that to her? I don't know. What if he heard and was going to tell her? I don't know, Joyous. And then Lucky says she may not have shared or bought CSAM, but she provided her daughter to him. Right. And the interview I just played where they said Stephan worked independently was in July. And I'm thinking, if you're going to say she didn't know about the CSAM, then like you're damn sure going to say she probably didn't know about the homicide. Now, I could be wrong in that. They could say she didn't know about the CSAM, but she helped with the homicide. But I mean, with the Woody Allen comments and as blatantly obvious as it was that it was going on, if you're going to say she didn't see that when it was right under her face for 7 years, then how are you going to say she knew about the homicide when, you know, it wasn't blatantly in her face for 7 years as much as the CSAM was? Oh, okay, Sarah Lee. Thank you for trying to come up. Lucky said they need to change laws in Florida that it is illegal to let your child sleep with your boyfriend. Right. No doubt. Hey, Lisa. I'm sorry, Sarah Lee, that you're having issues. Maybe they need her only to rebut defense's claims. But is she a valid witness? Because they're gonna bring into account her cognitive ability, especially if all this was going on under her nose for that long and she never knew. She is culpable and complicit, Lucky. Lucky said, I wonder if they're keeping her to get the death penalty because it's two separate things. Possibly. Why immunity if Ellie didn't think she was involved in some way? Right, Sandra. And immunity happens in April, derivative immunity. Happens in April, and then July, they're saying Stephan worked independently. How did we get here? How did we get here? Cozy said, if we, who are not experts, can see that she is guilty, I'm sure a jury could too. Right, so what the hell are we doing? JPL says, gross neglect, and I wish Tyler would sue her for wrongful death and neglect. Me too. I don't know that he would get anything out of her, but I wish he would too.
She got kidnapped, but that doesn't
Right,
seem
Leandry?
like that's the
Well, that's
case
not
at
what
all.
happened.
I know. My brain just wants to believe something else.
Hey, Miss Ho.
I just want to believe she's still alive and she's out there.
Did he tell you he fucked?
Lisa Lynn says, I'm sure the jury would have questions regarding that. Yeah, are they going to ask questions regarding that when she's on the stand? Cozy said Tyler did say he would prosecute her if she's her legally if he knew she was involved. And then I go back to like his reaction. His reaction was heartbroken, devastated when he was presented with the fact of what happened to Maddie. I actually think I have that interview if you guys want to watch it with Tyler. I know that one hasn't been played in a while. The news interview, if I can find it, I think I have that interview if you guys want to watch it. But yeah, he seemed devastated, upset, brokenhearted when the news interviewed him. And it's just a completely different reaction than her. I hate her whiny little cry too, JPL. They do hold things close to their vest, right? But going back to that, Sandra, why not say then, why are you going to give me specific detail of you gone thousands of hours line by line through her phone and you can say that Stephan was working independently? Like, why not say it's an open investigation and I can't give you details of an open investigation? Even though his dad was fishing, why not say that? Like, why not say I can't give you open details of an investigation? Oh yeah, please hit the thumbs up if y'all don't mind. It would help me get out into the algorithm and more people will come hang out with the Speculating family. If y'all want to go over Tyler's interview with the news, we'll do it after this actually. If y'all want to go over it before then, let me know. And I can try to grab it.
Fucked up.
No. He acted so normal that day. He was like, I'm so impressed. We got out of the house so early. Like she made great time. We had so much time to go to McDonald's, but she didn't want to. His story was so fun. Like every detail was so believable. He's just been lying this whole time. Like
What about that day in the car when you offered him a lawyer? Did you disclose anything to you there that made you feel like, oh fuck, he needs a lawyer?
No. He kept acting like he didn't know what was happening, and I'm like, don't you see forensics? Don't you see they took your phone? Like, something's happening. Like, I think they're gonna pin this on you. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, they have the wrong guy. Like, they're just honing in on the last person who saw her. But no, you guys knew more.
You never said, what did you do?
I've never asked him any of that. I still, even up until when we got here to the police station, I was convinced that he hadn't done anything to her at all.
Because of him or because of not wanting to believe she's deceased?
Because of him. Because I thought he was a good guy.
So up until this morning, you still think that it's not?
No.
You're talking about the other day.
Up until
When we took him.
yes.
Okay.
I forgot what day of the week that was.
So we're still going through his phone, his drives, like I told you, all his socials. We can date back to 2020. Based on the videos, it appears that was the start of the victimization. Okay.
So the start of the victimization was in 2020. I was reading your comments trying to locate this video. We will talk about it. Sandra said, well, I don't think much about the dad either. He didn't have anything to do with what happened to Madeline Soto, but he was not even a long distance dad either. The thing about that, and I can play his interview where he talks about his relationship with Jen. I'll kind of go into a nutshell. The dad basically met up with Jen in Georgia. They were together when they were teenagers. They kind of had a one-night stand, and Maddie was created. He was married or engaged to be married at the time to the person he's married to right now. And Jen Soto is pregnant and by herself and trying to, dealing with the father of her child being married to somebody else. She tried to break them up. Her mother paid for court. Jen's mother paid for court to basically give Jen Soto full custody of Madeline. And she kind of kept Tyler out of Madeline's life. And so I think he did the best he could. He also had some issues going on with his services because he was in the services. He had to go to jail for a little while. And so he had to deal with that. So I do give him grace. I think he wanted to be in her life more than he was kind of allowed to. I've got several comments I'll read real quick. She contradicts herself constantly. It was so believable. Also, he is a master manipulator. Yeah. Lucky said Ellie was looking at her. She is shitting. Yeah. Shelby, good to see you. Didn't someone say they served her and she had cut her hair? I read that somewhere, not here though. I don't know. I haven't heard that. Sandra said, my thoughts, she was a lazy mother and one of those all about me type, not putting the child first, completely oblivious of anything going on around her unless it was about her. I agree with that, and I can definitely see that. Sue Joy said, for someone who claims never trust a man, no to sleepovers with Stephan Stearns and then send them to sleep upstairs together willy-nilly like it was normal. She has lied in every interview. She has. She said that they only slept together in the past year or since June, but she made a rule no sleepovers for years. Like, how does that even make sense? Y'all just broke up in June, and he started staying in the room upstairs in June, but left in November. But you had a rule no sleepovers for years? What years? Y'all were all sleeping in the bed together until June. Sarah Lee said, I just rolled up to the pharmacy, and of course it's packed. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. That sucks. KJ said, is this where she's realizing how to process the lie she's been fed with the reality of what she's been hearing and must now answer on the spot? Yes. Cara said, I'll send it to you, but on the court docket, it shows that Stephan Stearns had images of Madeline from 2019. Yes, I've seen that. It goes way back. So let's see, 2019, 24. It was 5 years back. So that would have been, going back to 8 years old. Hey, Zan. I'm sorry, Sandra. If you're saying that happened to you, I apologize. Indie Girl said, like she knows she sounds shitty from the truth, but tells different stories to different people. She absolutely does. Possibly KJ. And lastly, Lori said, Jen incited the three in bed and Maddie and him to sleep together. She was endangering a minor with an adult man in possession of firearms not locked in a cabinet. Yeah, you would think that would be a charge. Hey, Rachel. Rachel says, I can't judge Tyler because we don't know everything that has happened, and getting an attorney for custody is expensive. He said they were talking about Maddie moving to Texas when she was murdered. Yep. Hey, Jenna's Gypsy. Well, actually, we'll play that interview. I'll get it ready. I'm locating them real quick. So we'll get that interview ready, and I'll drop links to the person it's from, and I'll get that stuff together real quick. We'll watch this until then.
Are you going to find anything in his phone with you?
No. I don't know anything. We've never done anything.
Has there ever been a request for the two of you to participate in sexual activity with him?
No.
Regardless of you saying no or yes?
No, he's never asked that.
Okay. If we find pictures like that, is that going to surprise you? So if I'm in his Google Drive, if I have a sex crimes detective, a computer person look at his phone, and they tell me, hey, Kevin, I found a picture engaged in sexual activity or borderline sexual activity, is that going to surprise you?
Yes, because that doesn't exist.
Okay. At any time during the course of your relationship, has he expressed that he has ever had sex with a child?
No. not a child, but when he told me when he was in high school, he graduated high school like later, like older than 18.
Okay.
He dated somebody younger than 18. I think she was 15. But I don't know how old he was, 19, 20. But he was an older kid in high school. He graduated late. But he had a really young girlfriend. Her name was Kendall. And I thought that was weird. I was like, that's a little too young. He goes, no, it's fine. We were in high school. Everything was normal. Her parents loved me. Blah, 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 blah. But that's the only one.
Have you ever gone through his phone?
Who?
Okay. If you had to, knowing Stephan, knowing where he lives, knowing where he goes, how he conducts his life, give me your top 5. Because I know you've had to have thought about it. If you haven't thought about it, that's another weird thing I got. Since Monday, right? We told you on Wednesday
Oh.
we think he did it.
Yeah.
So from Wednesday till today, it's about 48 hours. Give me your top 5 places you think the possibilities based on knowing him, based on knowing his path of travel.
Sorry, all things serious. I was trying to locate that interview. I've got clips of it, but I can't get the entire thing. So we'll try to talk about it. How are you doing, Eddie?
Amazing. No,
That's good.
listening to this, listening to the article that you read or the email that you read, did I believe that there was some manipulation? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, in the very beginning of this case, the information that had came out, I thought that the whole time she was being manipulated by this dude. And
Really?
then when I found out like how many years it had been going on for, I'm like, how do you not see signs as a parent?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, are you that clueless or self-centered or like, how do you not know? And being like, tell me if I'm wrong, women in the chat and you on panel.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you go through your man's phone?
I don't, but we've been together for 7 years. In the beginning, I did.
Okay. As a man, because I've been cheated on in the past, lied to in the past, I'm going through her phone in the
He goes through
beginning.
mine. He goes through mine still to this day, but I've never cheated on him. But he has the same issues. He's been cheated on and things too. So yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think that she went through his phone. I can't believe that he was so careless to let all the police get a hold of all the videos, all the images, and all that, but she didn't know anything. In the Woody Allen comment, I mean, there's just so much to say that she knew,
Yeah. Correct.
despite having been manipulated.
Self-absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's why, like, she should have charges. Like, how she's not. I hope things change when trial hits. I hope she cracks under pressure. I hope
Yeah.
she folds because she's just as guilty.
Yeah. Did you hear the comment, though, that the police said that Stephan acted independently? What do you think about that?
That's a good. That's interesting. Like, acted. It's possible that he. I don't have the evidence in front of me on what they have in their reports because they're probably keeping that close to them. You know, it's possible.
Right.
I don't know. Um, I think Maddie was getting ready to speak. And that's the reason why she's not here no more,
Yeah.
in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
I think something was said. So
Yeah. Do you think that they would say that though? Like, we've been okay. If they're gonna say like, because people have said that Stephen Stern's dad was fishing for information. So do you think that with taking that into account and like maybe they're not wanting to reveal everything they have close to their chest, like people have said that, and for me it seems like they would have said, well, it's an open investigation and we can't reveal details about that investigation. Like right now I just got a FOIA request sent back and it basically said, hold on, I actually will tell you what it said. It says, in response to your records request, please be advised there will be no comments made to an open investigation. Like, why wouldn't they say something like that instead of, we've been through their phones line by line, thousands of hours, and we can say that Stephan worked independently. She was not working with him or helping him in any way, shape, or form. Like, what are your thoughts on that response as opposed to basically it's an open investigation, so F off? Y'all have to let me know. I'm reading some of your comments. Sandra said, why the text the sick lawyer up so many guilty moves and things, she said. Yeah, she did. But she didn't lawyer up. She immediately wanted to get him a lawyer. Sarah Lee said, when have I not believed in monogamy since I had my heart broken and realized too, I can't. I don't know what you are asking me why you are asking me that question. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Leave me alone. I'm sorry if somebody's asking you that question. I believe in monogamy, although I've never been married, but I've been in long-term relationships. Sue Joy said, I believe detectives would not tell Chris Stearns anything for fear of leaks, giving Jen Soto a heads up. Right. So Sue Joy, what are your thoughts on why they wouldn't just be like basically what I just read to you? In terms of your, questions, it's an open investigation. So basically F off. You know what I mean? Maybe because they knew he was fishing. Right. But why not shut it down? No, we're not telling you anything. It's an open investigation instead of giving a long drawn out explanation. Oh, I know you're being silly, Sarah. You're good. Sometimes
I
I
thought
don't
she was
read.
taking that out on me.
Oh, no.
I thought Sarah was coming at me with that. I'm like, what did I say wrong?
No, not you. They're talking in the comments. Sometimes I don't read their comments before I highlight them.
Okay.
Joyous.
This case.
Sorry, love. Go ahead.
This case has been sad, truly sad. My heart goes out for these children, really do.
Yeah, absolutely. It is really sad. It's hard because she was a child. She was so young. The abuse happened for so long. It's
Yep.
really hard. All right, I'll continue playing this.
Yep.
Where do you think? It doesn't have to be based on evidence, just in your gut. Give me your top 5 places where you think he.
In this area,
Doesn't have to be this area.
No, I know.
Anywhere you want.
I'm saying in this area, I have no idea. Orlando, Kissimmee, no idea where he could have taken her. But his trip to Northport is weird as fuck.
Real quick, to my people that were helping me look for documents, I wanted to just tell you real quick. I just got an email back from the state attorney's office about Stephan from Orange, Osceola County, the state attorney's office where we get the records. And I was requesting records that had been released, and what they told me is good afternoon. This office has not released additional records to the public since the link and response emailed to you on December 31st. Due to the nature of the charges, the witness list filed in these cases will likely be heavily redacted, and only the names of law enforcement personnel will be viewable. However, if you would like copies, then we can issue an invoice for the cost to review and provide copies. We do not know which records you are referring to in your request for provisional documents. So y'all will have to let me know what that means. I think they're basically saying that, I can't get anything. If I can get a witness list, they're saying that the names and stuff will be heavily redacted, so it basically wouldn't tell me anything. But y'all can let me know. That's what I'm getting. If I'm getting it, more than likely everybody else is getting it too. So y'all can let me know what you think.
I feel like in Northport, he knows more people. He has more friends. There could be a place and somewhere there he could have stashed her. You guys said he went into a storage unit. That would be another place to look. But there's plenty of woods around his house. Around that exit is kind of secluded. Like,
When you say his house, you mean his parents' house?
his parents' house, yeah.
You've been there? Have you seen the property?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Do they have land? Or is it in like a neighborhood?
So it's not a neighborhood because they don't have HOA. You just buy the plot of land and build it. They don't have many neighbors.
Yeah, stashed her. Like, ma'am, you're talking about your child and you're using the words stashed her. Sarah Lee, sweetheart, I am praying for you. You got some things going on today. You are in my thoughts and prayers. Lori says, Jen is a smartass. The voice change, the actions, she's playing them all. Right. Like, she seems way more methodical than anybody else. Deviant. Not sexually deviant, but like, she's a lot smarter than we give her credit for. She plays the part of heavily medicated, naive, I think, way too much. And she's really good at playing that part. I don't think that's who she is. I think if you got her alone, or Madeline, for instance, saw a very different side of her. I think that's why they fought all the time. Mommy Ball, good to see you, love, says maybe he wanted Dad to quit trying to undermine and guide their investigation. I could see me saying, listen, you worry about Stephan. That's a good point. That's a possibility. Sarah said, I think that the DA is being cautious because they are preparing for trial. I wouldn't pay for redacted pages, so it's not worth pursuing. Thank you for that, Rachel. I appreciate that. Matilda Marie, good to see you, said she's so nonchalant talking about places where her daughter's body could be. It's disturbing. Yeah. Absolutely.
Or last I saw, I think there was a neighbor building right next door, but I don't know if they're done yet.
Really, Hio? I will forward this email to you, Hio.
I just feel like he had more. There would have been more spots in Northport for her to be dumped. Because from what you guys have told me, he went to St. Cloud, he went to 192. Could you guys tell where he turned on any of these roads? It just that he was on the main road.
Look, they're just not even responding. They're just quiet when she's like, can you tell me where he turned off the main road? Because in my opinion, in my humble opinion, and I'm allegedly speculating that they're just like, do you not realize that you are telling us way more information than you should supposedly know? You're basically laying out the story of what has happened to this child, and you're asking us for information. I think they're just appalled right now, and they're being quiet, and they're like, does this bitch really think that we're going to tell her our information? Does she not realize how much information that she has just told us that she should not know? Does she not realize she's talking about her daughter referencing dropped, dumped the body? I think they're appalled. Do you hear this pause? I'm going to read your comments, and we'll listen to that pause again. Veronica said, I call her Monsterot. That was her original name, and I just adopted her, and she will stay with that name. Oh, that's so sweet, talking about your cats. Lori said, Jim playing the victim, and the law is swallowing her BS. Mental health is not an excuse. I don't know if they're swallowing it, though. We're going to listen to that pause. Sandra said, dumped. What the heck? Is her daughter trash? She is disgusting how she speaks of her daughter. Right. I think they're feeling the same way. Oh, yeah, the HOA is the housing authority. It's like they tell you if your grass is too high, they can issue a fine. They tell you where your dumpsters are supposed to be for the trash to pick up. They tell you what flowers you can plant, if you can put Christmas lights on. It's basically, in my humble opinion, a group of Karens that are going to dictate how the outside of your house that you pay for on your lot that you paid for looks. And they don't allow you to do things on a house that you pay for. That's my thought on that. And I'll just keep my mouth shut about that from now on. Marilyn said, Jen Soto is not as dumb as she acts. However, she's not as smart as she thinks. What a great way to put it. Tony said, I think they're just letting her talk. Listen to this pause. I'm going to take it back. We're at 35:51. We'll go to 34:32. All right, listen to this long pause. They're like, ma'am, stop it. Hey, Sandra, she says for her to be dumped. Is that how you would talk about your daughter? It's not how I'd talk about mine. But then again, I wouldn't be sitting there. I'd be whooping Stephan Stern's butt.
But there's plenty of woods around his house. Around that exit is kind of secluded. Like,
when you say his house, you mean his parents' house?
His parents' house, yeah.
You've been there? Have you seen the property?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Do they have land? Or is it in like a neighborhood?
So it's not a neighborhood because they don't have HOA. You just buy the plot of land and build it. They don't have many neighbors.
Okay.
Or last I saw, I think there was a neighbor building right next door, but I don't know if they're done yet. I'm just feel like he had more. There would have been more spots in Northport for her to be dumped. Because from what you guys have told me, he went to St. Cloud, he went to 192. Could you guys tell where he turned on any of these roads? It's just that he was on the main road.
She asked a question. Look at that pause. She has asked a question and they have paused for this long, not answering her question.
I didn't think he ever even knew where St. Cloud was because we've never driven down that way ever.
Well, you live in Kissimmee, right?
Yeah, I know, but to me, he's never had a reason.
So she asked a question and they just paused, did not answer the question and let her continue talking. Maybe they were just trying to let her talk. I found it a little weird though. Ashley said, well, they did ask the top 5 places she could think of where Stephan Stern hadn't gone, but she really only gives one place. And ironically, it's the place where Madeline's found. But in July, we're going to say that Stephan worked independently. Like, give me a break. Veronica said, hate how she's trying to figure out where she could be. Like if she was on a game show and excited. Oh, wait till they pull out the phone and she starts showing them. Wish that was her side. Was that her side or yours? I think it was hers. I try not to sigh too much. And then, hey, Nut, good to see you. So the law's eyes, they're given the green light. It's okay to let a minor sleep with an adult man. What the fuck? Right. Where are the charges, Orange County Sheriff's Office? I need to know immediately. Rachel said, remember, during this interview, they are trying to find Maddie and don't know much about Stephan Stern. He didn't do anything but sleep, take pills, and play with toys. He's a man-child. During this interview, they knew what he had done to Maddie. As far as the photos go, it's after this interview, not long, that they find out where her body is. But they've already told her that they think she's deceased.
A reason to ever drive down to St. Cloud, ever. there's no store or anything he goes to down there. Everything is in Kissimmee.
Also, real quick, Eddie, if you want me to pause so you can say something, just let me know.
Orlando by the mall.
I'm just listening.
Florida Mall?
Yeah.
Orlando Mall?
Yeah, Florida. I sent the last detective like 3 spots. I could have recalled him telling me he wanted to visit. Monday, when he left the house in the afternoon and got the flat tire, he had mentioned a few of those shops, so I sent them over to you guys.
I dropped the StreamYard link again if anybody wants to come up. This is the exact reason why I think charges are coming for Jen Soto, said Sandra. So do you think they're coming? Or do you think that it's, you know, like they said, Stephan acted independently? Hey, Hio, good to see you.
Hi, how are you? Hi, chat.
Good, how are you?
Hi, Eddie.
Hello.
I'm just looking over the emails you sent me and checking through a few things. So I'm just going to kind of sit over here until I'll have something to push out.
Okay, if you find anything, let me know.
I sure will.
Thank you, love. You're so awesome.
There's honestly nowhere I can think of. We've never gone to the only wooded area that we've ever gone together would be Shingle Creek Regional Park, where the Pioneer Village is.
Okay.
That whole trail there, we had scooters, and he had like an electric skateboard kind of thing. We would all cruise the creek, explore. We've taken a canoe up that creek before. Then the Kissimmee Trail. There's a trail that runs right behind my house starts right behind my house and goes all the way to that bridge on John Young Parkway that says Kissimmee on it. That whole trail, we've done that as well.
I'm assuming you're looking at the documents. I think we're looking at the same ones because I just saw there was quite a few and I was going through them. So you're probably looking through them. I'll let you look through them because if I try to read them while I'm live, I'll be focusing on that, not what we're talking about. VJBC or Gene, I'm going to call you Gene. It's good to see you and thank you for your comment. Gene says, I think the policeman said that to his dad because he was pissed that his parents were trying to put forth the idea that the poor innocent man only got pulled into any of this because of Jen. They could be, I mean, it would be irritating to hear him talk about, you know, how everything's Jen's fault and they were running a criminal enterprise. It's definitely a possibility that they were kind of pissed off about how they keep protecting Stephan even after being hit with all this information. I think it's a possibility, yeah. I just go back to why not say it's an open investigation and we can't reveal any details from an open investigation. But I'm used to getting that in FOIA request as part of the public, you know. I'm not being personally involved in a case, so maybe that's why they would say it differently. Veronica said, law enforcement also does this thing where they like to get close to the suspect, invading their personal space. Oh my God, I would die. I hate that. I would hate that too. Lucky said they have to pull everything out of her. If it was our daughters, I would be asking them. Yeah. And then lastly, Veronica said, it's a strategy and must work, but makes me have a panic attack, sort of. Yeah, I would too. I would not be acting this way if this was my child being talked about. Nowhere near this. I would be erratic, crying, screaming, trying to go get that mug and whoop on him.
That's the only places I could think that like he may have gone because that's where I know I've gone with him before. But anywhere else, I have no idea.
So our ERT team, it's called Emergency Response Team. It's just a group of people who search areas. It doesn't have to be wooded, can be wooded, can be swampy. They've been out for 3 days. They're going to be out all weekend. they will eventually, whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in 2026. Okay. I don't think you want that to take too long. Right? I'm sure you'd like to have a funeral. I'm sure you'd like to have some kind of memorial service. The last thing you want is for us to call you in a year and say, hey, we found remains. We don't know. Okay. That may not be something you thought about till just now, but I can tell you, being someone who investigates homicide, that is something that everybody has to come think about eventually. If you can think of anything that would assist us in making that happen for you today versus 2 years from now, regardless of why you know or how you know, we need it.
No, I know. If I knew anything, I would tell you right now. I promise. I want her back so bad.
Do we think that's legitimate? Her saying all that? Do we think that her feelings, her emotions, her body, the way her reading her body language, do we think that's legitimate? Let me know.
I
JPL
know
says,
that.
I want to know about the other. Sorry,
Oh,
go ahead, love.
No, go ahead, darling. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. JPL said, I want to know about the other kids that are on his photos. It makes me absolutely sick to think that Maddie was not the only one. Did he do this before to a child and we don't know it? I would say no. I would say that it's part of the dark web kind of thing. He's trading images and videos. So in order to do that, like in order to get pictures and videos, you have to trade videos yourself. So I would say that it's other people doing things, and they said they hold those pictures and videos hold no evidentiary value, which I don't understand that, because I'm like, you need to go arrest the people harming the children in those videos. But it's not evidentiary value to this case. So therefore, I would say it's not involving Stephan Stearns, it's other people. You can go ahead, Hio, sorry.
No, I was just going to say to your question. So I sit over here as a mother and I look at it and I want to so badly believe that this is real, that she's crying because she loved her, because she's being genuine. She really didn't want her to be deceased, all of the things that go along with that. But then I look at all of the other things that we've seen in her, because I don't want to be that. I don't want to think of her that way. I want her to be that person that we want her, to be, the loving mother and doting person. But
Right.
all of these years that all of these things have gone on with her daughter, and all of these things have gone on around her, and her naivety is not an excuse. So I know the chat doesn't believe in her, and I don't. The tone is just atrocious. I believe it's the high-pitched whiny tone that we use when we want to get our way because mommy didn't let us have what we wanted, and I
Right.
believe that's the tone that she's using. So no, I don't believe her, and it's sad because I want to.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, and I appreciate your perspective. I think it's very accurate. Very accurate.
I don't want to think about planning a funeral.
Hey, B-Ball.
What has your communication been like with his father since this?
Hey, Toxic.
I've limited contact over the last 2 days because I know too much and I don't want to tell them anything.
You don't want to tell them what we've told you, or you don't want to tell them what you know?
No, I don't want to tell them what you guys have told me. I don't want to share. It's so difficult because I've known them for just as long as I've known Stephan. They feel like absolute shit right now. I know that they kind of got into a fight because Chris started, are you sure we know our son? Are you sure we know our son? I don't think we know him at all. the mom was defending him, but now with everything, with the evidence on the phone.
Cozy, she did say, I don't want to talk to them because I know too much. And then the cops ask her, you know too much, as in what we've told you, because they know everything that you know. They know everything that we've told you. So therefore you can't know too much because they know everything that we've told you, if that's what you're referring to. I do want to back it up and let us listen to that again because it is interesting. Because she does say, I know too much, because I don't want to talk to them because I know too much. And the cops catch it and ask her basically, what do you mean? I might have took it back a little too far, but we'll get there. Hold on just a minute. Hey, Thomas.
What has your communication been like with his father since this?
I've
Right here.
limited contact over the last 2 days because I know too much and I don't want to tell them anything.
You don't want to tell
I
them
know
what
too
we
much and I don't
told
want to
you,
tell
or you
him
don't want to tell
anything.
them what you know?
No,
Yep, that's exactly what she just said. And then the cops ask her, you know too much, as in what we've told you, or something
Because she's
else?
afraid she would slip up to Tyler and tell him too much. So she's
So
been
she's
avoiding
talking
talking to
about
him.
Stephan Stern's dad. They're asking her, has she
Oh.
talked to Stephan Stern's dad? And she says she don't want to talk to him
I
because
thought she was talking about
she
Maddie's
didn't.
daddy. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Because she don't want to slip up because she knows too much. But she has been talking to him. She's talked to him twice to try to get him a lawyer. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's waiting in the lobby of this interview. It might be her dad, but somebody's dad is waiting in the lobby. So I'm going to play that again and we're going to listen to it again. I think it's at 1:40:05. Let's see.
What has your communication been like with his father since this?
I've limited contact over the last 2 days because I know too much and I don't want to tell them anything.
You don't want to tell them what we've told you, or you don't want to tell them what you know?
No, I don't want to tell them what you guys have told me. I can't.
So they call her on her immediately. You don't want to tell him what we've told you, or you don't want to tell him what you know. As in, she slipped up by saying, I don't want to talk to him because I know too much. She slipped up. Yeah, I don't want to tell them anything. Her dad is waiting. Chris Stearns was on a Wednesday. Thank you. She's been in communication. It is a Freudian slip. I love that. I love Freudian slip as opposed to verbal leakage, because the word verbal leakage to me is like moist. So I do appreciate you saying Freudian slip. But yeah, she's been talking to him though. She's trying to get Stephan an attorney. What do you mean you don't want to tell him too much, but you're trying to use him to get Stephan an attorney? And they called her on it, and they called her. That's one of them. There's several in here.
I don't want to share. It's so difficult because I've known them for just as long as I've known Stephan. They feel like absolute shit right now. I know that they kind of got into a fight because Chris or
Oh Lord.
are you sure we know our son? Are you sure we know our son? I don't think we know him at all. The mom was defending.
Let's use Freudian slip. I can't with the verbal leakage, verbal diarrhea. Goodness, y'all. Stop it. Veronica said, the trial of the husband murder in a file. Oh, I've seen that in a fire pit. The Melody Ferris. Yeah, got me. In my opinion, she's innocent and was sent to jail recently. I haven't looked much into that, but I've heard about it. That's an interesting case as well. My chat keeps jumping. I'm sorry.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We need a hand raising emoji, I think. I don't like talking over the top of you. I just talked to the public records department at the SAO state attorney's office. The documents that they have are not anything that we haven't already had permission to have. They're documents that either have redactions on them. They're just lists of things that we basically already have access to, but just in a different way, if that makes any sense to you. I'm going to get
Yeah.
confirmation by that. They're going to email me, but I did tell them specifically what it was that we saw behind a paywall that we were looking at. And they did say that basically we have records to everything that the public records request will allow us to have, including what's behind that paywall.
You're so fucking awesome. Thank you for doing
Well,
that.
they're tired of getting calls. I had to apologize profusely for being one of those people. but yeah, so they're gonna email me from the SAO Public Records Request Department just to make sure. But yeah, pretty much what we have is what we're gonna get right now until they start doing the CCM pre-trial stuff.
You're so awesome. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You're so awesome. Thank you.
Whoever it is that has that flip top lighter makes me think of my daddy way back in the day when he used to smoke. He used to have them flip top lighters, the Zippos that you turn over and put the fuel in. Yeah, that's what
that
reminds
sound
me.
was the bottom of my blinds is like metal, so I have the window open, and it was hitting
like
it was hitting the window frame, but it did sound like one of those. I do have one of those. I know what you're talking about.
Zippo litters. Bad girl. Okay, back to it. I derailed enough.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, it reminds me of those two. My dad used to have those too. I've actually got a lighter collection from my dad. He had like little Christmas tree lighters like that were shaped like Christmas trees and shit. It was he collected lighters, and I do too now.
Oh, fine.
Lori said when Jim was told and seen the picture, she asked where they got them from. She knew then the game was up and she still needed to defend Stephan Stearns in case he admitted she was involved, asking X to get him a lawyer. Yeah. Yep, exactly. All right. Let us continue. Listen to Jen have Freudian slips.
Defending him, but now with everything, with the evidence on the phone coming out, they know he's a piece of shit.
We've talked to his dad, and his dad knows as much as you know. He knows his son's a rapist. He knows his son's a murderer. He's talked to us. He's been very open with wanting to help in any way he can.
So basically, he knows everything. So you saying you don't want to tell him everything doesn't make sense on our end. Sub Rose, I'm going to kick your butt. It's good to see you.
Psychological, whether that's verbal.
Yeah, he even had. I was with him when he turned in his knife to you guys. He remembered he had a knife on him and gave it to you guys. I thought that was.
Have you talked to Chris about Stephan needing a lawyer?
Yeah.
When?
Oh, toxic. So you hear the heavy sighs when they're like, have you talked to Stephan? Trying to get him a lawyer, basically. And she is sighing because she knows that they know that immediately after she showed, excuse the graphicness, but she was shown a picture of Madeline with Stephan's member in her mouth. She immediately tried to get him a lawyer and has tried to do so again since then. And they're asking her about that. She knows she's caught, so hence the heavy size of the potato.
I think when you guys showed me the photos.
Yep.
So we showed you photos of Stephan raping. And the first thought you had was to ask his father if he should get a lawyer?
No.
Yes. They showed you pictures of Stephan raping your daughter, and the first thought you had was to get a lawyer. Actions speak louder than words. You can put your hand up and say no all you want to, ma'am, but that's what your actions show. You're sick. I'm sorry.
I saw a picture. I didn't see the rape. I didn't know she was getting raped until yesterday.
What?
I saw the picture of the oral sex happening. And I knew that was true, right? That's evidence. That's for real. That's fucking happening. But I kept thinking, they're going.
What?
I don't know why I can't tell you why my brain kept thinking, no, he didn't kill her. Not that he didn't kill her, but.
See, it doesn't make sense. You're stuttering and you keep changing your phrase because you're trying to answer a question in a way that makes sense when your actions do not make any sense at all. Hello, Yvonne. Thank you for being here. Yvonne says in one of the interviews, Jen was asked if any firearms were in the house. She said upstairs in the drawer, which means by the timeline, Jen was upstairs in rooms 4 sometime Sunday night or Monday because Stephan arrived Sunday. Absolutely correct. She says in here too, I don't think we've heard it yet, when they ask her how she thinks Stephan committed the homicide, she says he probably strangled her because there is no mess or no blood upstairs, and then follows it up with, like, right, y'all said that there was no mess upstairs, trying to cover her ass because she did go upstairs. Hey, Sarah, I'm sorry if I didn't see you. I just saw you now. I apologize.
My phone, you're okay. Now it's working through my Bluetooth. I'm done driving. I just wanted to hop in real quick and throw something out there real fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah.
The thing where she's like, oh God, what was it? She said, oh, she doesn't want to talk to them because she knows too much. And so I think we may be taking that out of context. Keep in mind, we're dealing with Jen Soto here. So we got to keep it simple, stupid, right? Because she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. So that being said,
Agree.
I think she said that in a way like, I don't want to talk to them because I know too much, because they're going to ask questions. They're going to have him a lawyer. His lawyer's going to ask, but I don't want to answer them. That's the way I took it. I don't know. That may be far-fetched, but
no.
I think we're overthinking that one.
Yeah, and we could be, and I appreciate your input. Sometimes I need some, you guys in the comment section and on panel and things to say, hey, it might not be that deep. He does that all the time. So I do appreciate your input. And again, if you guys are thinking it in the comment section, right, somebody else is also thinking it too. So I really appreciate you coming up and sharing that.
Right. And well, thank you. Thank you for having me up here to share it. Another thing I wanted to kind of throw at you is, so like when I want to be 100% confident that I'm calling somebody guilty of something, I will sit there and try to defend them and try to make it so, they're not guilty. And then when I can't do that, that's when I'm like, okay, I know that they're guilty of it now. So like, how would you guys be open to something like that? Like, I'll play devil's advocate here and try my best to validate everything she says and why she does it. I don't know that I'll be able to, but
yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I don't know. Just because that way I know I'll feel more comfortable being like, because I'm pretty comfortable right now saying she's guilty, but when when trials happen, I will, if I do that little exercise and have somebody to quote unquote play with me, somebody to play courtroom with me, I'll feel better when I'm in the live. I'm in chats, watching the trial in real time, being like, she's so guilty, I'll just be more confident with those words.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that sounds like a great idea.
And you want to set that up or something, let me know. Like, my email is in my About Me section on my YouTube, so you can shoot me an email if that's just an idea or something. Because, like, things that will chill, I'll hear her say something, and I'll be like, I wonder if I'm overthinking, if I'm taking it out of context. Like, not that I think anything is going to point to she didn't know what was going on. She was oblivious. I don't think that's going to happen, but might as well give it a try,
Yeah, sounds like a great idea. Definitely a plan.
Something that we're missing, or I don't know. I mean, I think as moms and just people that care about other people, we want to think there's something deep in us that wants her to be oblivious and not have known, because it's monstrous to think that a mom allowed that, So I know that that's just something I've been kind of grappling with and struggling with this case. Is like, I want her to be oblivious, but then in the same sense, it's just, God, if she is that oblivious, she should get a Darwin Award at this point. But I still have that internal struggle. Like, I want her to not have known, but it's not looking that way, which makes it like 10 times more sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great idea. And we can set something up and do that. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for having me. Thanks for listening to me ramble for a minute. I got to go into the Dollar General. So,
Okay. They have some cute stuff in there. I go there a lot. Like some, like, you know, like they'll have cute Valentine's Day stuff. I like Dollar General.
I miss it. The
Well,
penny shopping. They did all. They like remodeled all their stores, and I miss penny
yes.
shopping, man. I went penny shopping once. Everything on my receipt but my soda was a penny, and my receipt, like, I paid like $50 something. I had to make 3 trips from Lake of the Ozarks back to my house, and it was a 4-hour drive because I didn't have room in my car for everything I bought. It was insane.
Yeah, since they've done the remodeling, I got some vanilla coffee, like vanilla flavored coffee, and there was like 6 on the table they put where like it's discounted, and all of
Yeah.
them were a penny. I was like, heck yeah, and I put them up.
Yes. Actually, this week or this weekend, I think the sale starts. Air warmer plug-in warmers are going to be free.
Oh, really? Girl, we got to get together. We got to get
Yeah.
together.
All right, y'all. I better go in here. All the people in the parking lot are looking at me. Well, they always look at me weird, but that's okay. Now, yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a good day. I'll be listening while I'm chopping.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I
Our
gotta drop.
panel.
I gotta drop down. I
Okay,
gotta take
thank
care
you.
of a few things. Sorry, I was tied up.
Oh no, you're okay, and that's fine. I hope everything's okay. I hope you have a good day.
Oh, it is. I will. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. But the people that were just on, actually all 3 of the people that were on panel, Hio, All Things Serious, and Sarah Lee have channels. So if you guys would subscribe to them, I'm going to work on getting their links, and I'll make sure they're in the description box because we try to help out our fellow creators here. Hey, Meemaw. I think I said hey to you, but I wanted to make sure to say hey to you. All right.
She's still missing. She's still out there. She was taken. Yes, he's done this to her, and that's not okay. But I swore she was still, I felt in my body she was still alive. She was still out there. I told Chris to get him a lawyer because I felt like you guys were chasing the wrong person. But you weren't. You're not.
We showed you a picture of the picture you saw. She was giving a blowjob to a grown-ass man, and you told his dad to get him a lawyer. Missing, right? Now you.
And the cops are where we are with this, you know. We showed you a picture of your child with this man's member in her freaking mouth, and your first thought is to get him a lawyer. He dropped her link. Thank you for that. I'm going to put him in the description box as well. Veronica said Florida, well, she didn't say she was ever until that point. So knowing her patheticness and illness, tagging she loves, she would have said so already, in my opinion. I'm not sure I understood that, but. Oh, Sarah said that she's going to have a podcast soon. She said not to worry about linking her channel, but I'm still going to link it. Lucky said she wouldn't get immunity if she wasn't given anything. I think that they want her for the death penalty part of the death crime. I think so too, but like, I don't know. That trial's coming in September. Are we not charging her with anything? Like, even with the trial, if she committed the homicide or was knowing of it, she would have some kind of charges. Think about Harmony Montgomery, right? The mom had charges, the stepmom, and she testified for the trial of Harmony Montgomery, and she was in jail at the time. Like, why are we not doing that here? Teresa says, but negates the statement before it's not okay. Yeah. And then lastly, Lori said she blamed Maddie, the Woody Allen, and asking to go upstairs. That says it all. Blame Maddie. Yeah. They can charge her after, says Zan. They can, and I'm hoping they will, because right now I'm real hurt that they're not charging her.
But then you just thought she was missing. And we were showing you our investigative lead being raped. A blowjob is rape. not consensual. Whether she wants to do it or not, that is not consensual. And you prioritized him again. You prioritized him by offering him or telling his dad to get him a lawyer. Not what the fuck did he do? Not, hey, we need to figure out what happened. No, let's protect Stephan.
I'm shocked.
No, that's not shock. That is your natural instinct to protect Stephan. Okay? And if that's naturally how you react, that's fine. But that goes into what I've been telling you this whole conversation is I don't believe a lot of the things you're saying, and I don't believe a lot of the things you say you weren't aware of. And that is
again, like always, protect Stephan. Protect Stephan. It's never about protecting Maddie. Maddie could not hurt her with the Woody Allen situation. Maddie was requesting to have sleepovers upstairs. Never Stephan. Always protect Stephan. Lucky says, we as the public and channel creators who cover this is great to pressure that elected DA. I'm wondering if pressure from the public would do anything. Hey, we gob shit. At very least, she should be charged with neglect. I agree, but it appears nothing yet. Meandering, Zan says she's playing stupid now. Right, exactly. Meandering says she pretends to be dumb. She's playing them. Right. So why are there no charges? Why, from March 1st, when this is taken, to July, we say he's independent? Lucky said, I believe pressure is
because you've now shown me twice that your first reaction, no matter what you were told or shown, missing and we're seizing the cell phone, or we're showing you pictures of her giving him a blowjob, your first reaction is to protect Stephan. So now, ordered by Stephan, you're aware of this. You were shown pictures of this. You were shown pictures of her body in his car with a seatbelt on, right? We have played it out for you. Now you're in a stage where he's in jail. You know she's passed away, and now you can feel emotion, right? Until that point, shown that she was deceased, continued first reaction is to protect this guy. You just said, I only saw a picture of him, whatever your verbiage was, I say blowjob, of his penis in her mouth, and your first reaction was, fuck. Oh my, being victimized? No. She's being abused? No. It's Stephan needs a lawyer. Who the fuck cares if we think he killed her?
So again, if you didn't know about the SA, you had no idea that was going on. This is all news to you. Why are you thinking Stephan needs a lawyer? If you knew what was going on, and in your mind, it was okay for Stephan and Madeline, for Stephan to basically rape or abuse Madeline, and you saw it as he really loved her and he would never hurt her, that tells me that you would think he needed a lawyer immediately after seeing that, because you feel like you need to protect their relationship because you knew what it was and you knew that Stephan really loved Maddie. That's what I'm saying she thinks. That's not what I think. But in her mind, they were in love and they were together. And yes, I saw pictures of something I already knew that was happening. So therefore, I need to protect Stephan because I know about the CSAM and I know their feelings behind the CSAM and that it's not what it seems in her mind. And I also know that Stephan would not commit homicide on Madeline because he loved her. That's why you tried to get him an attorney. That's her thought process in that. And she can't explain that to the cops right now. In my opinion.
I don't know why I said that.
But that's the problem. You don't know why. So the reaction in your mind is you are continuously protecting this guy. So why do I sit here and believe that you don't? Because right now, you know Stephan killed her. You know Stephan's been raping her. You know without her body, can he be charged with murder?
I don't know.
Exactly. So you don't know what we can do. Do I think we can charge him with murder? It's not up to me. Should he be charged with murder? Yes.
Please.
Does your role in her life lead this to happen? I'll be honest. Yes. Since she was a child, since her victimization started, it occurred under your roof and you acted like it didn't exist. And knowing the victimization, knowing how ongoing it is, knowing that you saw a picture of it, not just us telling you, not me and him saying, hey, listen, he's being, I think they had a bad relationship. They showed you a fucking picture of it. And you still protected him. So how am I supposed to not think that the thought process in your mind is until she's found, Stephan can't be charged with murder? Because we both now know that you don't want him to be charged with murder because you want him to have a lawyer.
No, I don't.
The blowjob.
That was
then.
He
can't be charged with murder.
That was then. Everything that you guys have shown me since then and have showed me that he's
So we had to show you a picture
time.
of her dead in the car for you to finally not take his side? Enough? Do you not see where I'm coming from? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but it makes absolutely no sense that your name is Stephan.
I don't know.
Where does your mind go? Stephan.
Always Stephan. Always Stephan. We have to show you a picture of your child deceased in the car before you're like, F Stephan. Still, even at that, asking if you have to press charges now or can you do it later. Heaven help us all. Sandra said, my son was killed. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that you had to go through that, love. If you ever need to talk, you can email me. Lori said, you go back to the first interviews about the SA and look now, she's had plenty of time to change tactics. Good point. That might not be your link. I could have got somebody else's, Sarah. I was thinking it was you, but it might be somebody else. I'm sorry if it was. All right.
There should have been no doubt in your mind when they showed you that picture of what he was doing to you, that you had any care in the world other than I want that motherfucker to die. Whether you believe in the death penalty or not, he protected him. So now we're talking about her disappearance and where her body is. Why do I believe that you're still not protecting him? Because you say so? Because you can't explain why you're protecting him.
Yeah, you can't explain why you're protecting him. I'm supposed to believe you because you say so? I think she's more manipulative than naive. I do too, Teresa. Stephan needed a lawyer because Jen felt her freedom was threatened. Yeah, I think the only thing that makes sense as to why this woman would immediately try to get him a lawyer after seeing a picture of her daughter with this man's member in her mouth is because in her mind she knew about the relationship and she condoned it. She thought somehow Stephan tricked her and manipulated her and groomed her into thinking that him and Madeline's relationship was okay. To me, it's evident in the way she consoles him in the news interview. She consoles him like a mother would a son, not a boyfriend and a girlfriend, because that's who she was. She was the mother to those two who were, quote unquote, in love in her mind. And that's what Stephan had made her think. Okay. At the end of the day, that's not acceptable. It's rape. I don't care how you look at it. She is a child. But in her mind, Stephan and Madeline are together and Stephan loves Madeline and they're going to be together. And she knew about these, Sam, and she knew because, in my mind, allegedly speculating what I think is they said, we're already doing this. Why not take pictures and videos of what's going on? We can make some money. And she knew about it. And that's why she got Stephan a lawyer, because in her mind, Stephan loved Maddie and she knew about the relationship and she felt he needed to be protected because he got busted doing the CSAM stuff. And she thinks that he could never hurt her because of how he loved Madeline. In my opinion, allegedly speculating. Gob says, I think that she will be charged eventually, but they are more focused on Stephan now as she wasn't in any of the videos that they found. Right. And I understand that. But again, I go back to, like I've said, ad nauseum, why not say it's an open investigation and we can't reveal details of an open investigation? It's important to look at things differently. The whole picture is crucial, said Sarah Lee. Absolutely. The whole picture is crucial. I do want to get together and do that with you. I would love to get your, I think that would be a really good thing to do. Miss Kimmy said, friendly reminder. And thank you, Miss Kimmy. It's good to see you. Jen and Stearns were always on Google Meet or FaceTime, and therefore there wouldn't be any evidence via text or emails between the two. That's why there's nothing connecting, Jen. Well, I did read that the police can pull evidence from the Google Meet and Google Zoom things, even though it's encrypted, they can pull that. So there might not have been anything involving her. They might have thought they were protected talking that way, but they're not, because they can get, the police can subpoena that. Lucky said her doing that to Stephan with her while her daughter is missing made me sick. And that was the big red flag that changed my mind early on in this case. Yeah. At the beginning, I was like, maybe she didn't know anything. But as you get more into these interviews and all of the evidence, it's like, there's no damn way she didn't know. Oh my goodness. I hope you're okay, Sarah Lee. Hey, Rose Thorne. Jen Soto processes data very similar to a high-functioning autistic person. Do you think, I'm just asking your opinion, do you think that is why she is the way she is? Because like people who are not autistic see it in a different way when she really is this naive and this unknowing. If she is on the spectrum, like, is that why she acts like this? And maybe I'm being too hard on her because I don't see it that way. You have to let me know what you think. Maggie May, good to see you. Says she needs to realize Stephan Stern will be fighting for his life. Yeah, not hers. Not hers. I'm sorry, Sarah Lee. I wish I could help you. Toxic said it could be plausible that he groomed Jen, though. Jen seems to me the kind to be codependent. She's definitely codependent. And I think she was groomed. But to what extent? To the extent of thinking it's okay for your daughter to sleep with him and get him a lawyer? I don't know.
Protected. You can't explain what is inside of you that makes you protect Stephan. And you might never be able to explain it. But eventually we're going to have to figure it out, because you haven't convinced me that you're still not protecting Stephan. I got all these people out here searching. I haven't seen my own kid in days because I'm looking. I truthfully believe that I can't go home and see my kid is because you're protecting. I can't. You're people sitting in the woods just waiting for me to tell them where to go, but I can't because I think you're in trouble.
I don't care about him. I want him to go to jail. I want the worst thing possible to happen to him in jail. I know what happens to predators in jail. Like, I'm ready for that. Like, please. I don't give a fuck about him. I'm not protecting him.
But you knew he was a predator when you got shown the picture. And then you text his dad that he needs a lawyer, and you hope that he invoked, was the words I was told.
What?
You hope that he didn't talk to us. He needs a lawyer.
No.
All over a picture. You didn't care.
For them to be that heated in this moment, I think that she really did say that. I hope he doesn't talk, and I hope he invokes. And again, it would make sense. I hope he doesn't talk. I hope he invokes until I can get this lawyer there to represent him and protect him. I don't think that they were lying in that moment when they said, from what I understand, you said, I hope he invokes. I think she actually did. I think she did, because again, she's trying to get him a lawyer. KJ said, I suspect even more now that Jen Soto hasn't divulged her pre-knowledge of CSAM, and Chris Stern's interview is based on what they know at the time and what they can or are willing to share. Great investigator. So you think they're saying that Stephan worked independently and she had no knowledge. You think that's accurate? Just trying to read your comment again. I have autism, or I'm on the spectrum or whatever. So I think that's why they can't translate her this, for lack of better words. Yeah. Lucky says she's convincing herself. She doesn't want Stephan Stern's talking for sure. Yeah. Yep. My lovely Abella said, my goodness, Jen is so hideous. Maddie deserved better, Jen. She did. She absolutely did. Oh, shit.
Here then, whether sex isn't important. It
No.
wasn't anything close.
I knew what I saw was
He was a
there.
predator right then and there. That's the day you found.
I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to add you to the stage and I removed you. I'm sorry.
She said, get out of here. Hey, so if you want to, I have a document that just came out what is today? 116, and your lovely Kara sent it to us. If you would like to, I would present it and you can read it out.
Yes, ma'am. Sounds great.
Okay. All right. Now
Let's do it.
Let me find it. There we go.
Alrighty.
Let me make that bigger
Thank
for you.
you for that.
Thanks, Kara. She's just watching them documents like nobody's business. Okay,
Thank you,
there you go.
Cara. I appreciate that. Okay, let me see if I can read it.
Is it too
I
small for
cannot
you?
read that. The words are like jumbled together. Can you zoom in?
Yeah, I can go one more. What about that? Is that big enough?
Yeah, I can see they're taking. Scroll down a little bit. They're
You know what, baby? Let me message it to you. I'll send it right to you, and then we can do this again.
okay. Sounds good. They're taking more depositions. It looks like from what I saw, Brady and stuff is the teacher, so they're getting more depositions from the teachers and stuff. Is what it looks like. Hold on just a minute, and we'll get this interview back up. Hold on just a minute. Do. Alrighty.
Found out he was a predator.
Yeah.
Yes. And after you found out he was a predator, did you not say he needed a lawyer? So why today, Friday at almost 3 o'clock, 5 days into the disappearance, 2 days since you probably found out, or 1 day since you found out she was murdered, do I believe you that you're not telling me where he went, or that he didn't disclose to you where she was, or what caused this to happen? Is listen, I know you know I've been doing whatever, or listen, this fucking happened. How do I believe that that didn't happen when everything you've shown me is protect Stephan? Now, once if you show priority in this conversation, in this investigation, you're coming here looking for her, you reported her missing, trouble for not doing that. But outside of you reporting her missing, and I may be wrong, I haven't been involved in all aspects of it, but you have not shown me one bit that you prioritize her over him. And that sucks.
It really does. It really does. There is no evidence of her prioritizing Madeline over Stephan. Maggie May, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. That was super sweet of you. How kind and supportive. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Maggie May makes me
I
want
really
to sing a
appreciate
Rod
it.
Stewart song.
What is that? I knew it sounded familiar. I can't think of the song.
The Rod Stewart song?
There is a
Yeah.
song. Yeah.
You're not
All
going to
right.
get me up here singing.
All right, let me see. Hold on just a minute, y'all. I got this document. It's a notice of taking
really
deposition.
good song.
Hold on just a minute. We'll go right back to that interview. So this is going to be a notice of taking depositions, just like I read to you this morning. I'm going to try to zoom in so we can see the names. I don't know if y'all can read it any better like that. Oh, wrong way. Okay, I think that's as good as it's going to get. It says, comes now the defendant, herein named above, Stephan Michael Stearns, and through the undersigned attorney, and herewith gives notice of the taking of depositions of the below listed individuals for the office of the public defender, 9th Judicial Circuit, remote Zoom video deposition or in person at the address. And so on the 29th of this month at 2 p.m., they're going to talk to Madison Brady, who was a teacher. On the 29th at 2:40, Italio Brett, who I believe was a teacher. And then on the 29th of January at 3:20 is Kenneth Dale. I think those are all teachers. So they're going to be getting their depositions this month on the 29th by Zoom or in person. I would love to have those depositions, but I don't think that I could get them before they go to court because that's obviously for court, although I would love to have them. But I don't know. I've gotten a lot of things in this case I didn't think I'd be able to get. KJ said, I think the investigator's trying to get to the bottom of the inconsistencies. He's privy through the investigation or interview process of them both. It's still early on in the game. He sees red flags also. Yep. Cara said, you might be able to get them before that. We can just keep an eye on everything. Yes, you are moderated now, so if you need to drop links or anything, you can, Cara. Liddy said, thinking of the Hotel California song today. This could be heaven. This could be hell. Yeah. My mom told me, I always asked her what that song meant. There's a lot of people think a lot of different things. My mom told me when I was young that they were talking about the mind, how you could get caught in the mind. Personally, I think it's related to substances. Aw. I'm so glad. I'm glad you help us out a lot, and I appreciate that. I need to moderate a few other people too. I'll have to talk to them after the live and moderate them as well. But thank you. I'm glad. That's so sweet. Yeah, Meemaw says substances and murder. I think so. That's what I got from it. Sandra said, I hope everyone knows it's highly unlikely this goes to trial in February. Yeah, I think there are going to be some delays for sure. For sure. Absolutely.
Not because we're working our asses off for your family, not because we have people out there sweating their asses off for your family, but because I feel like all I care about is your care is make sure Stephan doesn't get held fucking accountable.
Well, I don't care anymore.
Anymore. Because we're being assholes, because I'm not being nice.
No.
But up until Thursday, it was okay that she gave him a blowjob. No big deal. Get a lawyer.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't okay. I saw that and I was in shock. And I don't know why my first reaction was to tell him to get a lawyer, but I saw that and I was in shock and I was just like, I don't know what to believe.
That's not shock. You followed through with the action of trying to get him an attorney, ma'am. That is not shock. Your actions speak way louder than your words. Lucky, the trial, I know we've dropped the date like almost daily. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the CSAM stuff is supposed to be in February and the homicide trial is supposed to be September 21st or 25th, I do believe. Cara said on the court docket, you can see the capital will be delayed. I can't imagine the CSAM going through in approximately 1 month. He's still keeping the not guilty plea, even with photo evidence. Yep.
I think that's Wegob shite. I have seen them in another chat or two, and they're very
Wegob shite.
They're very cordial.
Okay.
The one with the clicker information. Yeah, that.
Okay, which one was that? Did I get the name wrong?
No.
The one with
they were asking here. That one.
Okay, I wonder why the gate man who spoke to Stephan and see Batty positioned in the car oddly didn't say anything. Oh, because he talks about her hair being over her face and he thought that she was asleep. Like, I don't know. It would be a weird position to be in, right? You're just like at the gate and you see people coming through. I would feel kind of odd because what if you were wrong and like she was alive? I'm sure now he second guesses himself after knowing that she was deceased, but it would be a weird spot to be in at that moment in time. Basil was in here, but he left. I think he's eating some of his cilantro and parsley. Yeah, Lucky said he waived a speedy trial. Yep, he did. Well, good point. He is security. Good point.
It's easy to believe it now. We showed you pictures of it. You can't deny it anymore. The sex was okay. The murder's not. At least that makes sense.
No, that's okay.
I want to know what he is. And not because I think you're a bad parent, not because I think you're a bad dead or alive. She's missing. Her body is out there. Her body needs to be recovered so she can have a proper burial, a proper funeral. She needs to be laid to rest. Your family needs to be able to mourn her. And we need that information. That is life. That is not life of the law. That's not life of the sheriff's office. That is common decency. That is what she deserves. That is what you deserve. That is what your family deserves. But the longer that happens, the longer it takes us to find her, the less likely that's going to be for you guys. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I truly am. But deep down, you haven't shown me that I am.
I don't know what I need to show
Prioritize her over Stephan. Stephan, think of places.
I don't know what I need to show you. I need you to prioritize your child, ma'am. We got shite said, if I seen that, I would risk offending by asking questions, but that's just me. Yeah, I would think I would too. It'd be a hard place to be in though, unless, you're in that position one day, God forbid. KJ said, yes, Stephen Stearns probably needs mitigating circumstances to help his case. He does. That's why he put in that document for mitigating circumstances. I went to a gated community near Orlando to get in those places is insane. They have photos everywhere. However, the attendants don't really pay that much attention unless you have no pass. Yeah, and he didn't have a pass, ironically. Oh, he had a pass? I thought he asked to use the man's pass because he didn't want to use his pass, or he said it wasn't working, the clicker. Sub Rosa says, oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Like an owl.
Since he would have dumped her body. Think of places he went, things you talked about, things you discussed, whether it's this week, last week. Don't put it in your mind that he's been victimizing you, or don't put in your mind that I'm being a dick. What can I think about to find out where Stephan put her?
It's redacted.
You know more about where he goes, what he's doing, or what he would do than you want to realize. That's natural, not because I'm telling you, but because that's natural. I have best friends. I know more about them than I think I know about them. I just need to sit down and think about it. So I need you to sit down and think about it. Whether you need a minute, we're not in this room, whether you want to do it with us in this room, we need to leave here with an idea of where we can go look for.
Yep.
That is one thing we can agree on.
I've sent you the list of the stores that he may have stopped at, didn't stop at. The only outdoorsy places I can think of that we've ever gone to that he would know about would be Shingle Creek or Kissimmee Trail. I don't know if he knows where Lake Toho is, but that could be another option.
Because
Zan said he normally had a pass. The roommates did not have passes. Jen prioritized Stephan. And why that's important is because Stephan wasn't even living there from November to the time that she was murdered. So, and he had a pass. But the roommates who are paying to live there and have been there for some years don't have passes. Meemaw said these guys don't believe her. Why didn't they do better? Well, I think they did the best they had or they could at the time. But, they're trying to pressure her to get her to admit to more, but she's just not wanting to. Bad Girl said Jen's reactions are not normal on any level. I agree.
You think it's a wooded area because it's a place you guys have talked about together?
Because it's a wooded area with a lake, with gators. Like, we haven't discussed anything. This topic, I never asked him if he
I could be wrong, but it's weird to me that she says we haven't discussed this. That tells me that you have discussed this and you're trying to name places that he would go or he wouldn't go.
I never thought he could have. I always assumed the best in him. But I didn't ask him directly. I didn't even suspect that until you guys showed me that picture upstairs. We're here. I don't know. I'm just thinking of, if I name places, it's going to be wooded areas that I can think of, but he hasn't told me anything. Like, he has not told me, or we haven't discussed.
So him going to 192 that day, all you know is that he went to 192.
He said he wanted to visit House Card Rules. That was one.
Bad Girl said, why would you think of gators in this conversation? Seriously. Yeah. I mean, great question. Talking about your child here. Like, what? Oh, my chat just jumped. Sandra said, I don't think they have the evidence they need to give to the state's attorney's office. I'm sure they have tried and have been told not enough evidence to charge her. That makes sense and is probably true. Right, I'm with y'all. Oh, hi, Martha. Good to see you. I see anger in her, rage right underneath. She is irritated that she is there being questioned. I somehow feel she was involved in Maddie's demise. I think she was too. And I want her to get charged. And I have a problem with the fact that it appears that she's not.
He named 3 stores, and that's one store I can remember him listing on that list.
House Card Rules?
Yeah, I don't have my phone.
We'll get your phone a little bit. House Card Rules. What kind of store is that?
I don't know if that's like a video game or card game or board top game store.
But that's on 192.
Close to one. I think close to 182 somewhere.
And you said he wanted to go to 3 stores.
Yeah. But he did tell me that I just don't remember which one.
Are there woods in that area? Are you familiar with 192?
Zan said, I think they have plenty of evidence against her. It's all strategic. I hope so. Lord have mercy, I hope so. Hi, Rhonda. It's good to see you. Rhonda says she said she trusted him, yet she said he was a liar and a thief. That doesn't make sense. Absolutely. Cara said, but if they can charge parents for their kids bringing weapons to school, why can't they charge her for sending her to sleep with him? She fed her to a predator. Yeah, I'm with you. We can charge parents of kids who bring weapons to school and unfortunately commit homicide at schools, but we can't charge her. I mean, I'm with you on that 100%. Hey, Rubber Ramada, my lovely. Good to see you.
No, not where these stores are. I have no idea.
Good question.
Other than...
I don't know. Just trying to highlight it.
You came up with wooded areas that you know of.
Yeah.
You came up with wooded areas that you think he could dump a body in.
Because I've been there with him, yeah.
I need to know wooded areas where he travels. Right? You're saying we've been there, so she could be there. So that tells me she's not there. It tells me it's a waste of a search. Okay. Because when I put 90 plus people there, that's all day. Right? We got to coordinate that. We got to put them there. So we need fruitful searches.
Yeah.
So I need likely places that you think, and I need places you think based off of conversations with him, not because you can picture in your mind that there's trees there.
Okay.
Bueller. Oh, it's redacted. I'm sitting here thinking she's being quiet.
Oh, I was like, what? I grabbed some documents that I needed to staple real quick, and I was like, what's going on?
No, not you. I was going to say I had a question was Martha had said that they had thought that the original, what is this? Where did it go? That the original detectives weren't on the case. I can't find anything that says that publicly. The only thing I can see is that the investigation had multiple agencies questioning them, like OCSO, and then the Kissimmee PD. So there might be different detectives that you're seeing talk to somebody, but I didn't find anything where it said that they were removed off the case. Is that something you know about?
So from what I understand, the person that was removed off the case is going to be the oh my goodness, the sheriff, because he accidentally leaked photos of Maddie.
Oh, okay.
But, and I think he still has a job. That was just at one point in time. I think that's the only person that's been removed. I think that's all I've heard of pertaining to that.
Marcos Lopez, is that his name? Marcos Lopez.
Yeah, and there was information in the FOIA request about him, but I don't quite understand what it's saying, so I don't know. But I think that's who it's referencing, was removed from the case.
I gotcha.
KJ said, do you think she's trying to evade the runaway topic? She may not want to explain why Madeline Soto would run away from what? The truth Madeline Soto was ready to tell? Possible. Very possible. Veronica said, how could she ever think Stephan Stearns was a good guy? She even said that she knew Stephan Stearns lied and stole from his parents, but not her. So that makes him a good guy. You effing lazy potato. Right? No doubt.
Right. Right, me mom. But it looks like he accidentally posted that image to his Instagram account. Like, first of all, this is a little girl. Why do you have that on your phone that you could accidentally post that to your Instagram account? Why do that? Why do you
Yep.
have that?
Yep. It
I
was
know there
supposed
were
to
tons of
be.
news reports that came out.
Yeah, I've got documents on that. If you guys want to talk about it, I can pull them up real quick. But he's on the Brady list now. I saw some documents
Saw that.
showing that he was on the Brady list for that. But I think he's been kind of forgiven for it because it was some kind of senior citizen thing that he was doing, and he was
He stole
posting for
whose
it.
money? He stole Maddie's money? That sheriff did?
I don't think so. I think they're talking about Stephan.
Oh,
Stephan
okay.
supposedly stole Maddie's money.
Girl, y'all got me hyperventilating. I was like, what the hell?
Jeannie Jen said the chief, Betty Holland, and others due to mistreatment in other cases, I believe. Okay, thank you.
I'll look that up. I don't know what that's about. I'll look it up while you're doing the interview.
Hey,
Stephan stolen money.
Lisa Lee and Chrissy knows it all. Jen's playing the victim. She's lost Stephan. Yeah. I agree.
Named interest in being anywhere near woods or it being along his way.
Said he got a flat tire. Tell me about the flat tire you got.
So he said he got a flat tire. I'm not sure when he got a flat tire, but he said he got a flat tire and then came directly home, and he got home around 2:40. So flat tire, he said he was driving down 192 and just popped and shredded and fell apart. And he pulled over into a plaza and changed the tire for the first time in a very long time, and said he hurt himself doing it. The frame of the car, something came down on his finger.
All his lies, I don't care, but I want to know what you question him about. Why was he there? What was he doing? There's no way you're the most trusting woman in the world. You just don't ask clarifying questions. I know no relationship I've ever been in is that trusting. He just tells you he's gone at 3 a.m, getting a fucking Wawa, and you're like, I don't have a bet. Same thing with this. It's like, oh, I got a flat tire, was here. Why is he at these places?
Right, I'm with them. Your man is gone at 3:00 in the morning to Wawa and going to Target and all of these things, and you're just like, okay, whatever. And he's got a flat tire. The day that your child goes missing, again, you're like, okay, whatever. He factory resets his phone again the day your child goes missing, and again, you're like, okay, whatever. Like, absolutely not. Nobody is that trusting. Lord, I'm glad I stapled them papers because they just would have blew everywhere. Nobody is that trusting. Never, ever in the history of relationships has anybody ever been that trusting. Again, it tells me that you knew something. Donna said, I think they're looking for the degree of charging her. They don't want to risk overcharging her, Casey Anthony, and being found not guilty by a jury. They only get one shot at her. Again, I hope so, but it's odd to me, the way they stated it. The moment he left the hotel room, she should have been contacting police. She did not, because she's a co-conspirator, in my opinion. I agree. In my opinion, yeah. She didn't care because they were no longer in a relationship, says Meandering. But still, I mean, your child's missing and all this weird shit's happening and no questions at all whatsoever. Hey, Kalisa.
Do you not question him? Why were you on 192? Why did you dip out at 3 a.m. with my car?
I didn't know he did that.
Because this is 2 times he went to 192. He went to 192 the day she disappeared, right? He's roaming, looking for her south of where she went missing, because supposedly she went missing. And 192 is south of where that is. And not very likely that that's the route she went on foot or abducted, and that him driving around is somehow going to locate her.
And he did tell. I did question that. I was like, when I asked him where he's searching, he said 182. I said, why? That's nowhere where she would be. And he didn't give me a clear answer, and I don't know why I didn't push it. I just thought he was being stupid and oblivious, because I don't see him as the smartest man. Like, I don't. I let him do what he does. But I don't trust a lot of his.
Right there. Number one, you don't see him as the smartest man. You let him, that part, you don't see him as the smartest man. So you think he's more ignorant than you are. Therefore, you are the one that takes control of the relationship and says, no, Stephan, you do it like this because you're being stupid right now. You do this way because you're being dumb right now. Again, telling me that she's a lot more cunning than we give her credit for. And then you let him do what he does. And the cop is going to ask her about that in just a minute. What exactly do you mean you let him do what he does? What is it that he does that you let him do? No. Thank you for being here. Hey, Natasha, thank you for being here. Kalisa says, yeah, so Jen can't play, oh, I was dumb. I was the dumb victim. Right. Too many things out of the ordinary happened. Why didn't she question him, says Rhonda. I'm with you 100%. She's the instigator, in my opinion, says Tony, and I agree. I'm going to back this up just a little bit. Listen to her say she lets him do what he does. What exactly is it that he does that you let him do, ma'am? And the cop's going to ask her that.
I mean, there's no way you're the most trusting woman in the world. You just don't ask clarifying questions. I know no relationship I've ever been in is that trusting. He just tells you he's gone at 3 a.m, getting a fucking Wawa, and you're like, I don't got to bet. Same thing with this. It's like, oh, I got a flat tire, was here. Why is he at these places? Do you not question him? Why were you on 192? Why did you dip out at 3 a.m. with my car?
I didn't know
Like this is 2 times you went to 192. You went to 192 the day she disappeared, right? He's roaming, looking for her south of where she went missing, because supposedly she went missing. And 192 is south of where that is.
And again, you're in a completely different area than where she went missing, like he just said. Supposedly she went missing in the north, yet you're way down south. Hio, what are you saying? In chat.
What did I do?
I said, what are you saying? You said if she ever testifies. What are you talking about?
Oh, they said that she won't make a good witness on the stand. I said they'll eat her alive if she ever testifies.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Sorry, I was being nosy. I wanted to know what
no,
you said.
How dare you? Don't you be nosy in chat. You just go on with your live now.
Donna said she stated in a police report she knew they slept together when she wasn't there. Oh, I need to get that police report. I've started printing out some of the stuff. I got like 200 pages printed out so far. I need to find that. Girl, I want justice for Maddie too. Lucky said, for me, the main thing is she brought Stephan Stearns into her home and daughter's life. She did. And no, it doesn't matter to me how much she was groomed. There's so much here that's so weird. And again, the statement we're about to hear, she let him do what he does. And the cops are going to have a problem with it. Elbella, send me that drawing after you do it. I would love to see it.
Hi, Natasha.
Not very likely that that's the route she went on foot or abducted, and that him driving around is somehow going to locate her.
And he did tell. I did question that. I was like, when I asked him where he searched, and he said 182. I said, why? That's nowhere where she would be. And he didn't give me a clear answer, and I don't know why I didn't push it. I just thought he was being stupid and oblivious, because I don't see him as the smartest man. Like, I don't. I let him do what he does.
What?
But I don't trust a lot of his. Is the word judgment? I'm not sure, but I just don't trust that he makes the smartest decisions sometimes. Like, he likes to act like the smartest man in the room, but I don't think he is.
Do what he does.
Yep.
Meaning?
I'm sorry?
You said, I let him do what he does.
Yeah.
So,
if he wants to just get up and go to the store, I'll ask where you're going, but I won't stop him. Just let him go on his way.
Now, the police had an issue with that statement too. I let him do what he does. What does that mean? They found problems in that just like we did. And I'm with Dally Babies, thank you for being here, who says she caught herself. She did. She caught herself and tried to fix it. Hello, Titanium, I am. If Jen is talking, Jen is lying, she says. And to be fair, they're not in a relationship. So maybe she didn't question him as much as a normal person would. But I'll never get over the fact that he's got a flat tire. He does a factory reset on the phone. and you have no questions at all. He disappears in the middle of the night and you had no questions at all whatsoever. Just, okay, whatever. Roll out. See you later. Not today.
Just let him do what he wants to do.
Bullshit. Oh.
What do you think happened? Monday to night.
Bullshit.
You know she's deceased. She showed you pictures.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
That's what I think about that.
She's deceased. We know that she was probably deceased Sunday and Monday. We didn't see her Monday morning.
I still want to believe she's deceased. I know you showed me pictures, but
for the purpose of this conversation, I need you to believe it because I need you to figure it out. I need you to tell me what you think happened to her.
I think he killed her that night.
How?
I don't know.
You do.
Could it probably be possible that he drugged her? Could he have?
We're going to run back through that because she lays it out in storybook form for them exactly what happened. Hey, Always LB. Always LB says she knew exactly what had been going on. And if she didn't, she's a worse mother than I gave her credit for. And I didn't give her much credit. I think that's where we're all at. He disappeared in the middle of the night with her car and she doesn't ask questions. Yep. That night. Veronica says she's pathetic. KJ said there's many factors involved beyond and within this particular case. There is. Yep. She's about to tell exactly what happened if you listen to her. And we're going to break that down because she says some things that she should not know per her own statements. We're at 159.14. Go back to 158.40.
Monday to now. You know she's deceased. We showed you pictures that she's deceased. We know that she was probably deceased Sunday and Monday. We didn't see her Monday morning.
I still want to believe she's deceased. I know you showed me pictures, but
for the purpose of this conversation, I need you to believe it because I need you to figure it out. I need you to tell me what you think happened to her.
I think he killed her that night.
How?
I don't know. Could it probably be possible that he drugged her? Could he have choked her? I just don't know how you kill someone and don't leave a mess or don't leave evidence or... I mean, was there a mess? Was there evidence? I haven't gone upstairs. I don't know what that...
Okay, first of all, I think he drugged her and choked her. Now, we don't know if there was drugs in her system because the autopsy has not been released, but we do know her cause of death was strangulation, number one. Number two, you think that because there was not a mess upstairs, but supposedly you never went upstairs. And she quickly catches herself and says, I don't know, did you guys go upstairs? No, you knew there was not a mess upstairs. That's why you said strangulation. And you knew because you went upstairs. So why are you trying to catch yourself now in front of the police saying, I don't know, was there a mess? I don't know. You had a Freudian slip and you messed up. Abellis, thank you so much for gifting 20 memberships. I really appreciate that. And that is so sweet of you. If you guys were gifted a membership from Abellis, please tell her thank you. I'll play our little clip real quick. That's my crazy train coming to Speculation Station to pick y'all up. Thank you so much, Abellis.
I ain't getting on that train.
Yep, that's me driving. Coming in hot. I'm late. It's time to go to Starbucks. Y'all better get in because we are rolling out.
That train is flying through like a bat out of hell. Yeah, that seems about right, actually.
That's me rolling up to pick y'all up. You better run and jump. Anybody getting off better tuck and roll.
Really went into the house today, so I don't know what.
I need to know what you think happened.
I think he killed her.
How? You mentioned drugged her, you mentioned other things. Explain your reasoning behind those assumptions and we'll move forward day by day.
So he had access to benzos and I think Lunesta.
What are those? I'm not familiar with that.
Benzodiazepines are anxiety medications which relax you and can make you sleepy.
Okay.
And Lunesta, I think, is a sleeping medication, like for insomnia. So I don't know if it's possible he gave her something and she was drugged. And in those photos that you showed me where you're saying she's dead, maybe she was drugged. But
it's weird to me that you're coming up with this scenario. Who would think their child was drugged? Unless you already knew about a child being drugged. Why do you say you think she was drugged? That is weird to me. KJ said, you mean Stephan Stearns didn't share that part. Jen Soto, are you in your room doing drugs since Madeline Soto was already asleep because you believe he'd never harm her? Really? Drugs, except the ones found in the car? Yeah. Yup. Waiting for her to say the dingo did it. Yeah. She's got some sarcasm. I got some for her.
If she is dead and it was done upstairs, I could just only imagine that he choked her. I don't know how else you would kill someone and not leave a mess.
But you never went upstairs, per your own statement. So how do you know if there was a mess?
How do you think he got her out?
I have no idea because roommates come in and out of the house at any given point in the morning and we don't know their schedules. They can come in at any time. You guys showed me a picture, I think, of him or her in the car at 7:30 in the morning. My roommate left the house. She's the one who leaves the earliest. She left at 7:45. So like, what if he had waited a little longer? She would have caught him with carrying a body out of the house. How did he do that without being caught or seen?
It's not just a body, bitch. It's
No,
your
and
daughter.
Yeah. And she just talks about her nonchalantly. It makes me sick.
Agreed.
Valley Baby said, sorry, sweetheart. What'd you say?
I just said I agree.
Valley Baby. Oh, okay. I think we're delayed. I didn't mean to cut you off yet again. Valley Baby said, this is hard to listen to her vomit. Benzos and Lunestas. She thinks, no, she knows. She does know. And in this moment, I was like, maybe she's trying to think of how he did take her body out, because it sounds like she's really saying, I don't know how she got her body out. But I mean, again, I think she's realized that she's already slipped. I hope I didn't just boot her. He'll come back. Okay. Oh, there you are. I was like, I hope I didn't just boot you.
No, I was trying to catch back up on the lag. I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay. So I think she realized that she fucked up when she said that there was no mess upstairs and supposedly she didn't go upstairs. So she's trying to play it off like she didn't know how he got Madeline's body out of the house, and she makes it seem believable in this moment. Could she have not known? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, evidently the cops think so, judging by their statements in July, but...
Okay, now I got a question.
Okay.
Did you go upstairs? There's no mess upstairs. I'm sorry, you're telling me your daughter's missing and your ass hadn't tracked it upstairs to check and see if she was up there?
Nope. She says she never went upstairs.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because you bet your ass I'd be in everybody's hidey holes everywhere in that house to find my daughter. You're not going to keep any stone unturned in that house before I start. I mean, come on. Give me a effing break.
Right. And then Stephan is at the apartment complex when they call 911 to report Madeline missing. And instead of having him stay there in case she comes back to the apartment complex, she makes Stephan come immediately to where she's at. Why? Why is there no one at the house in case Madeline shows up at the apartment complex? Because you knew she wasn't going to show up there? Because you knew she was deceased? I would like somebody to explain that to me, because
where was her phone found at, sister?
Maddie's phone was found on the dresser that morning. And And supposedly she left it because sometimes she left it because she had ADHD. And we're going to hear them talk about, I don't know if they've already said it, but at some point in this interview, they talk about how she never left her phone, how it was unusual for her phone
It'd be
not to be there.
unusual. Yeah, it would be unusual for unusual for any 13-year-old to leave their phone, especially if they have an active either YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. If
Yep.
they're active on that, they're going to want to be out shooting pictures and whatever they find out in the world because that's what they do.
Yep, exactly. And she talked to her friend every single morning. They talked at school. She always had her phone with her. Why wouldn't Jen say, how did Stephan Stern get Maddie's body past me? Why didn't I see Stephan Stern's carry her out? She never asked that important question. Only says the roommates didn't see. That's a great point, Kalisa. I didn't even think about that. Great point. Veronica said she's like, Maddie is sleeping in the car, please. Like the guy from Back to the Future, Hutton on the head. Hello? Right. Basil's eating a cracker if y'all hear him. He's back in here now. Natalie even looked for Maddie. I think it's playing. I thought I pushed play. She did.
That's what I don't understand. Because, like, did you guys check and see if any of my neighbors have Ring cameras? Any? Nothing?
I don't know what data we've gotten.
I think that she checked to see if they had Ring cameras and knew they did it. That's just me allegedly speculating.
I need to know what you think happened to her. I don't need you to ask us what we found.
Okay.
What we found has happened. I need you to come up in your words and your
And
mind.
again, they're trying to, because they know people that are guilty will try to dig for information from them. So they're saying, I don't need you to tell me, to ask me questions about what I've got and what I've done. I need you to tell me what you think happened. I need you to lay this story out to me. Because basically they're saying, bitch, we know you know more than you want to put on like you know. And you need to be talking.
What do you think happened that night into Monday? Because we do not know. I don't know if her murder occurred Sunday or Monday. All we know is that when you went to bed, they went to bed together, and she's no longer here. So I need to know what you think happened to her, how he got her out of the house, where he went, how he got her into the car, what is your thought on what happened.
I think she was killed Sunday night.
So this for me, she says, I think she was killed Sunday night, and I want to play this over because this goes back to the DNA information that I have that I put out in a video that says Sunday night. I want to know where they get that date from. Why do you think she was killed Sunday night? Again, like the person in the email said, they think that Jen never saw Madeline that evening and that she was already deceased. And if that's the case, then that would explain why if Stephan came down and was like, let's say that Jen's not in on this. Stephan came down when Jen got home and was like, oh yeah, she's already upstairs. She's watching TV, whatever. She's asleep, whatever he said to keep her from going upstairs, even though Maddie was already deceased. Is that when they came up with the plan? Like maybe Stephan said to her, we talked about going to McDonald's to get breakfast in the morning since it's the day after her birthday. And could that be a reason that she's talking about the McDonald's thing because Stephan told her they came up with that plan the night before? And that was his excuse for leaving early because Madeline was already deceased at that time, but Jen doesn't know. So Stephan comes down and is like, yeah, Maddie's upstairs asleep. And we were thinking about going by McDonald's, the day after her birthday. So we're going to leave kind of early in the morning. And Jen's just like, okay, well, she can watch TV or whatever, if that's what she was doing. And then she texts and says, hey, she needs to go to sleep. She's already deceased. It's a possibility. I have to look at it from all sides. I think that is a possibility. And then I don't know, I forgot what we're listening to right now, what part we're at in this. It relates to this. Veronica said I had to go get some cheese to calm myself down a little. Girl, I love cheese. I could live off of just cheese. I love it. Evidently, Sarah Boone does too.
I know if her murder occurred Sunday or Monday.
Oh, okay. That's what I was talking about. On the DNA report, it says Sunday night. So have they determined that she was deceased Sunday night? If so, how I would think rigor mortis would have set in by the time she's in the car. And is that why her mouth was agape, and why I think the whole time they said she's leaning over the center console? Now, not to be graphic, but if you think about a dead body sitting in a car with a dog leash around the neck or whatever, however he held her up, when you turn, like if you turn to your left, the body's gonna sling up and like hit the window if it's sitting in the passenger seat. You know what I mean? Like the motion from the car, they don't have the power to stop themselves because it's just a dead body, dead weight. So they're going to be flinging all over the place. So did that happen, or was rigor mortis already set in and she stayed in the solitary position of leaning over the center console? And is that why she's found in the fetal position in the ground, on the ground when she's found? Lucky said, is she saying Sunday night, meaning Monday morning? That is important. Well, she said Sunday night. And we'll go back and play it one more time. But on the DNA results that I have for Maddie from the autopsy, they state Sunday night. And I've never been able to figure that out. I don't think it's a mistake. I think they figured out that it happened Sunday night.
You guys showed me a picture, I think, of him or her in the car at 7:30 in the morning. My roommate left the house. She's the one who leaves the earliest. She left at 7:45. So like, what if he had waited a little longer? She would have caught him with carrying a body out of the house. How did he do that without being caught or seen? That's what I don't understand, because like, did you guys check and see if any of my neighbors have Ring cameras?
Before we talk about the Sunday night or Monday morning, Lucky said rigor mortis sets in the face area, and her arms were floppy when he moved her to the trunk. Yes, they were, because they talk about her arms being kind of floppy. I remember that now that you say that. So that would mean rigor mortis had not set in by 9:30 the next morning, which would have been at least 10 hours later. I think rigor mortis would have set in by then. So why is the DNA report and her saying Sunday night? Because that would have to mean Sunday night before 12 a.m. early in the morning, Monday morning. I can't figure that out, and it's driving me nuts.
Any? Nothing?
I don't know what data we've gotten from them, but at this point, I need to know what you think happened. I don't need you to ask us what we found.
Okay.
What we found has happened. I need you to come up in your words, in your mind, what do you think happened that night into Monday, because we do not know. I don't know if her murder occurred Sunday or Monday. All we know is that when you went to bed, they went to bed together, and she's no longer here. So I need to know what you think happened to her, how he got her out of the house, where he went, how he got her into the car, what is your thought on what happened.
I think she was killed Sunday night into Monday morning. I'm thinking he carried her out of the house. I don't know how he didn't get caught by any of my roommates or no one heard. You're saying he drove all around town. I'm not sure where he could have gone.
And then him coming home and leaving and coming home.
I'm sorry. Y'all will have to let me know. I do believe she said Sunday night, not Monday morning, which is weird to me. Kim Trelia, I like your name, says rigor mortis usually lasts 12 to 24 hours after death, but can last up to 84 hours. It begins to develop 2 to 6 hours after death, peaks at 12 hours, and then gradually fades away. Okay, so if she's floppy when he's moving her to the trunk at about between 9:20 and 9:40 that morning, after he's been driving around with her all morning, but Jen and the coroner is saying time of death or day of death was the 25th, not the 26th, which would have been the night before between 8:30 and 11:59 p.m., rigor mortis would have set in if it happened during that time period, right? Hey, Bazard. Good to see you.
Oh, leaving, what do you think? Knowing that he killed her.
That's suspicious as fuck.
It is suspicious as fuck, but if you're writing a book, what do you write? Let's say this is a fiction novel, right? You're now aware that he killed her, so now you can piece together a story of what happened, right? You don't know the story because you're not him, and you tell me he hasn't told you, so it's not real. So you're telling me what you think.
Hi, Lana. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Lana, oh my goodness. Okay, Lucky said the process of rigor mortis uniformly involves all the muscles of the body. Lana says rigor does not stay, often starts about 4 hours. Facts, it may leave after 8 to 12 hours. Okay, so if she could have had rigor mortis in the car if she stayed solitarily with her mouth agape, leaving over the center console, because if she was in that position the whole time while you're driving, I would think her body would be flopping back and forth between basically her face hitting the passenger side window to going back to the middle area of the center console. If she stayed there the whole entire time while she's driving, and if, like you said, it could be between 3 to 4 hours, then that would mean she could possibly be floppy by the time he's moving her body to the trunk. I'm sorry to be graphic. It's kind of a graphic conversation. Florida Girl said, what time did he move her to the trunk of the car? She was still floppy or armed at that time. I do believe it was between 9:20 and 9:40 that morning. Rigor would set in before decomposition. Lucky said 9:40.
Yeah.
Right? We know he killed her. We know he
The
drove out of there in London
yeah.
morning. We know he discarded her backpack in the trash dumpster. We know he discarded her laptop and one shoe. Right? So all her property was discarded to look like she's gone. That way he doesn't have evidence with him. They leave.
Less than 12 hours. Yeah. If he killed her at like 10 or 11 that night, yes, it would be less than 12 hours. And yes, she had a harness and a seatbelt on, but you still got to think about dead weight. She would still be floppy and moving all over the place, even with the seatbelt and a harness. I don't, Miss King of anything, good to see you. I don't believe Jen saw anything Sunday after work either.
You've been told that they drove around Orange County, Osceola County, wherever it was. We've pieced that together throughout the week. All right. He's told you where, at least in his version of where he was and what he was doing. Right. But then you have all these suspicious times of when he's left and come back and he's gone here and gone there. So what do you think he was doing on all these suspicious times? He's roaming 192. What do you think? Knowing what you know now we can play. You know she's dead. You know that we've given you information. What do you think, knowing what you know, he was doing on 192? He was doing here. He was doing here. He was doing in Northport. What do you think?
So him leaving early in the morning and driving around aimlessly somewhere. I feel like he stashed the body at that time. When he came back and then left again. But see, it's daytime. Like, how could you move a body or move something in daytime and not be seen? But like, I feel like he went back to check to make sure he did a good job, or to move the body again. I don't know.
Why do you say that? Why would you say he went back to track to look at, make sure he did a good job or move the body? I mean, who does that? Like, logically thinking, why would you think that he would ever go back there? Like, if you're thinking that he has disposed of a deceased body, why do you think he goes back there? That doesn't even make sense. As a normal thinking person, you would think he would leave the body there and never ever go back because he wouldn't want to be caught. Sarah says, technically decomp occurs as soon as you pass and the blood is no longer circulating. Your body gives off subtle scents. Flies pick up on it. It takes a bit to be obviously in decomposition, though. Thank you, Sarah. Kim Trelia says, apparently children with less muscle mass like babies have little to no rigor mortis. YouTube, I like your name. Good to see you. She's distancing herself. Man, F her. Yeah, she's trying to. They told her he went back. Thank you, Darla. Because that was something that I questioned. Thank you for that.
But him leaving the house multiple times without his cell phone is sketchy as fuck. It's so suspicious.
Which is an intentional act. It's not accidental, so that can play into what you think happened.
Yeah. Phone being on the dresser.
It was intentional. Her cell records and her cell data from her cell phone show it is not common for her to leave her phone at home. It is common for her to go to school with her. You know, teenager leaves their phone at home. That's what they're attached to it.
She's left her phone home multiple
Her
times.
cell data shows that normally it goes with her. So that's
So again, the cops are calling her on that, saying that her cell records show that she normally takes it with her, and that basically you're lying because she normally takes it with her. They're saying that is not normal for her to not have her phone with her. They're calling her on that. Bye, Cara. I hope you have a good day, love.
intentional. You know it's intentional because he left his too.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's an accident last Friday, this Monday, was not an accident.
Yeah.
So you think that he dumped her when he was driving around. You think that when he left, he went to check her body. Okay.
Why would you go back out to 182 without your cell phone?
I don't disagree. So he goes out to his home. He tells you he's just roaming around aimlessly. Right?
Yeah.
So that's twice on 192 in one day, because he went to look at the house of cards bullshit or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then he went to do the roaming to look for her on this random highway that he never goes to. Okay. We go into the next day and the next day. Think of the suspicious things
He did a lot of suspicious things. YouTube, I am from North Carolina. That's so sweet. I'm glad you found us. Thank you for subscribing and becoming part of the Speculating family. Bad girl, I want justice for Maddie too. And Pam J said, well, she knows, she's known to lie. She has to know more, in my opinion. I'm with you.
he's done. Tell me what you think he's doing.
Him grabbing my phone and trying to log into his emails, that seems kind of suspicious. What was he trying to see? What was he trying to do?
Yep.
The thing is when he had my cell phone, now that I think back to it, he had something wrapped around it, so the phone was under a blanket, and he was like this. I tried looking at the screen at one point, and I could see an email. But
that was the cell phone we took from you today, or you gave us today.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Can you guys tell me if this is true? Because I recall a family member telling me something, like my sister. Was the last thing searched on it Amber Alert?
Her cell phone has Amber Alert searches in it, but I looked through her cell phone last night. I do believe that she may have been clicking on links for Amber Alerts that came through. I don't think she was actually searching them.
Okay.
They could have just been links she clicked on.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure if that was him Googling on her phone about Amber Alerts or if that was her.
That we will never know. He is not obviously cooperating.
Can you like, could you guys explain what happened yesterday?
Before that, I need you to continue going with.
Yeah.
So again, she's trying to pull more information out of them, and they're like, yeah, no, you need to continue telling us what you think happened.
Where are we at?
Suspicious utilization of your phone.
Of the phone, him disappearing multiple times, him disappearing to Northport. What the hell is he doing? That is suspicious. I mean, now that I know that that's where he went, that is suspicious as all fuck. Why did he go to a storage unit facility? What was he grabbing? What was he trying to dispose of? Or what was he trying to hide in the that to me is suspicious.
Do you put more weight on that than 192?
192, no, because 192 would be something happened in Northport. There'd be no reason he would
Do you understand what I was asking with that phrase? Putting weight on it? Like, do you feel like it's more suspicious?
I have seen the Deception detective, Kim Trelia. My mother's intuition would have told me something was up too. I'm going to mute this. I'm going to play this for a minute because I need to make a phone call real quick. Kalisa said, just to play devil's advocate, Florida is full of alligator lakes. It's common for bodies to be dumped there. That alone doesn't mean she knew, but her sketchy behavior otherwise makes me so suspicious. It makes me suspicious too because she references alligators and basically dumping her body near alligators. She says that tries to tell them places that Stephan might have went for the reason of there being alligators there. It's sus to me too. Very sus.
He was doing in Northport verse 192.
Are you muted? No. That's why you shouldn't walk in and ask him I'm muted.
I don't know which I don't know which one is more suspicious to me. They both 192 seems to me like the easiest place he could have dumped her or like figured out where to put her. Unless she was in my trunk the whole time and he went to Northport.
The trunk of your car?
Yeah.
Didn't you drive your car at some point? Didn't you guys sit in your car at some point?
I did. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have probably smelled something, but I didn't. So I'm just trying to think, like, did he stash her body in Northport? No, I don't think so. He was probably hiding something or destroying something. So I guess 192 would probably be the most important right now.
For being in your trunk is oddly specific.
The only reason I say that is because from what you guys have told me, he went directly from the hotel to Northport. I don't think he made any stops anywhere in Kissimmee or anything first and then went to Northport.
All we know is what we can piece together through accessible cameras and data. So his movements, his driving patterns, his actions, we can only 100% say what they are if they're on camera.
Okay.
So we can say he went to Northport because the car was in Northport, where he stopped, where he went in between. That cannot be factual from us if we don't have a camera. It can just be an assumption, which is why I want your assumption, because you know him, I don't.
Yeah. If I fell asleep at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, at the hotel, what was that, Monday night? Tuesday night?
One of them.
She is fishing.
I'm just trying to think, like, could he have had time to stop somewhere, wherever he stashed her, and then took her to Northport? I think he had time.
Has he cleaned your car since he came back from Northport? Was he brought to a car wash? Did he detail it? Paid somebody to come out?
No.
Because you, through your, we call it a fiction novel, you piece together what you think happened based on a suspicious activity, and you ended with, you think he put her in your trunk and brought her to Northport.
Yeah.
I know I asked you to make assumptions, but now I want to know why. Why is that how we finished this? What is in your mind leading you to believe that is the ending of the story?
Because 192 seems like a really busy strip, and I can't think of anywhere immediately, like, other than going deep.
Okay, I apologize. I'm back. I had to call about some information that I have requested. Sandra said, "Who could sleep when your child is missing?" She knew Madeline Soto was no longer alive, and I agree. Hey, Carolina, good to see you.
Into St. Cloud, like passing St. Cloud, like going into Holopah or Harmony, that I could see some stashing the body somewhere around there. But Northport has so many wooded areas, and I feel like, I don't know, he would be familiar with both areas. I just don't know him to ever drive down 182 super far down, like into St. Cloud. But I've known him to drive around all around Northport. But see, I don't want to say anything and like lead you guys down to Northport to do a search and nothing's there. I'm just
We're gonna go everywhere.
You're searching the woods right now, or she's not?
Okay. I just want to be like, I know you guys are like looking at me for the details, but I'm like, I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase.
You know him better than us. You gotta really think.
She knows the answer. She just doesn't want to give it out. She's scared she's going to admit to knowing too much.
Where do you take her?
I'm going blank. I have no idea.
I feel like you're becoming emotional right now. I feel like you want to tell us.
No, if I knew what to tell you, I would tell you. If I had the truth, I would tell you. I don't know anything.
Jennifer, where do you think he took her?
Allegedly.
Yes.
Did you
Oh,
see
goodness
that?
gracious. I'm sorry. I've got hit with 5 things.
You're okay.
And I had to
Thank you for that. I've gotten hit. No, I had to get, like, my husband needs the names of the kids for something for their half sibling. There's a bunch going on
You're
right now. I
okay.
do
You're
apologize.
okay.
My goodness. I am so sorry, bad girl. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. That is so sweet and so kind of you. Thank you so much. Bad girl said, sending our family some love, justice for Maddie. That was so sweet of you. Thank you so very much, bad girl. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for being so supportive. That is so sweet. Thank you.
Teresa, do
Oh
you
my
think
goodness.
Judge Grady or Grady Judd Judge Grady Grady Judd would have interviewed her better? I
think
tend
he
to
would.
agree. I tend to agree.
Okay. I think I've sent all the information. I had information on a FOIA I had to call about. I had to send information to my husband, and they needed it like immediately. So I just got hit with 5 things at once. I should be able to give my full attention now. I sincerely apologize. I love Grady Judd too, Lana. Bad girl, that was so sweet of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was so kind. Valley Baby said Maddie was their cash cow. I think it was an accident. I think it was too, especially taking into consideration that Stephan says, like, I would have never wanted that for her. But what kind of accident happened? Because to strangle somebody, you got to sit there and hold your hands on them for a minute. He had scratches on his hands. So that takes a lot. Takes a lot of anger, frustration, and a lot of time. It takes a long time to strangle somebody. So, I don't know.
To stash the body.
And we come back to
But I
stash the body.
would never do this.
Stash the body of your child. That's what we come back to. Stash the body of your child. That's who you're talking about right now.
My mind would say to go to Lake Toho. There's a lot of woods there. There's a lot of gators. I don't want to think about that. No, I know. I just don't want to think about getting eaten by gators. I don't know where she is.
That fake crying.
Like I told you, there's going to come to a point where we will. Volusia County Sheriff's Office just found somebody the other day that's been missing for a long time. People get found. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not quick. I'm hoping this situation is today, tomorrow, Sunday, but we will find her. What you need to think about is when we find her, is there an opportunity or a chance that we are going to prove that you did not assist us to your full capability in this investigation? And if that is true, you need to think about the consequences of that. Consequences of hindering a murder investigation or a capital sexual battery investigation could be punishable up to probably the same charges, the same time in jail.
Hey, Sarah, thank you for being here. And hey, Overprotected, it's good to see you. They're laying it out for her. They're like, you could get punished with the same amount of time. Do you want to be on camera? Okay.
No, I was just
telling
waving. I was just saying hi.
Okay. It's good to see you. You're so cute. It looked like you were out there in the snow.
I am in the snow. My dog just pulled me down a hill and I slid for a minute. But I'm gonna mute my mic. My kid's walking in or walking up.
Aww.
But I'm listening.
Okay. That was
Hey,
so sweet. So they're hitting her with, you could catch the same charges as he does with the same amount of time behind bars if you are lying to us, because they think that she's lying to them. She knows too much information. It doesn't add up. How do you know all these things? But you say that you didn't know anything. You say you were oblivious to everything, yet you can lay everything out exactly how it happened. And they're telling her, you're looking at the same charges with the same amount of time in prison if we find out that you knew more or you were involved, because they think she knew more and she was involved. How did we change when we get to July? If we did. Lana said Stephan Stearns could not control himself when he attacked physically or verbally, in my opinion. Well, after this, we hear about how Stephan was sometimes easily agitated, angry, and always negative. After we get past this part, a few months down the road. We're going to finish this interview out today, and we'll talk about the immunity deal tomorrow, unless I can get my information back that I'm waiting on. If we get that back, we'll talk about that. But either way, we're going to be talking about Madeline Soto. Hey, Bazard, good to see you today, love. I hope work was good.
It was. And how's everyone doing today?
We're good. I'm good.
I'm good. I ran out of gas and my brain's not working today, but other than that, just normal day today.
Oh, I can relate. Can definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna quickly say before we, get back to the video. Yeah, I think here with Potato, I almost keep saying her name. I gotta control myself. Potato is fishing. Like, I know I've already put in the chat not too long ago, but I have a crazy theory that what if Potato and the Stearns were possibly maybe linking information to each other. I mean, because with Chris saying, well, Jen showed me something related to what you guys showed her, and I didn't believe it at first. And then just the way he was acting when he with the yesterday stream where he was asking, or a few days ago, whatever, asking questions. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I honestly think that they maybe were possibly, because why would she even still suggest to his dad to give him the lawyer situation?
Right. Exactly.
So I do wonder if they will be brought in, the Stearns, along with Potato for the CSAM and the murder trial.
You think
wait,
so?
this could be a situation that we're overthinking you again. She may have just said to get him a lawyer because, you know, like, she was just like, oh, he needs a lawyer.
Sarah, you're really muffled, honey. I
Oh,
don't know what.
because I got my Bluetooth on. Hold on.
Okay. Hey, Barb. Yeah,
Is
I'm
that better?
hoping that. Yes,
Oh,
that's much
better.
better.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
But you know, I was saying that could be one of those things we're overthinking again. Like, you know, it could just be that she knew he was going to need a lawyer and just kind of blurted it out or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just, to me, it just seemed weird how, you know, in both the videos and well, at least with the audio with Chris, it did sound like he was definitely fishing. And then here, she's doing the same thing when she's giving out information like, well, what probably did happen to Maddie, but then she's also asking stuff to the detectives like, well, what do you think? How would you think something would happen like this?
Right. I could see that.
But I can see your point too, Kara.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Sarah. I like that you can come up and say,
Sorry,
hey,
I'm having audio issues again.
Oh, you're fine. I like that you can bring us back down a little bit and say, hey, maybe we're looking too much into this. Maybe we're overthinking it. Hio does that a lot for me as well. And I really like the fact that y'all do that. It helps me out.
I always tell myself, I'm like, keep it simple, stupid. That's the way I refer to it to myself. Like, keep it simple, stupid. And I have to remember that with Jen. Like, she's more of a simpler, she's a manipulator, but she keeps things simple. So I have to tell myself with her, keep it simple, stupid.
True. That's true. That could definitely work.
Yeah. You guys in the chat and on panel are what makes this channel great. I love seeing y'all's comments and stuff. It's not me, it's y'all that make this place great. Lucky.
Dude, I make it crazy. I make it chaotic and awkward, but you guys are awesome.
No, you don't. I like your point of view. I like hearing it.
I appreciate that.
It's the different takes and how, you know, we're all just like everyone always says, we all want justice for Maddie. We're just trying to figure out what exactly happened, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, though, I don't think we'll ever find out exactly what happened, but yeah, I'd like to know as much as I can so I can try to wrap my brain around it.
Yeah, I'm afraid we won't ever know exactly what happened either, unfortunately. Lucky said after seeing the pics and still doesn't want to press charges. She didn't want to go against him because he knows, in my book, because he would turn on her.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. She's sort of ugly cried, Barb. Oh, Sarah. We lost Sarah in the snow. Sarah's stuck in the snow.
Oh,
if you get out of the snow, come back up.
Well, she's spending time with the kids and her dog, so that's all good.
Oh, okay.
I know you know that I don't believe what you're saying, and I know you know that I think you prioritize Stephan. But you prioritize jail. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we come back and prove that you sat in this room and misled us, that you didn't lead us in the right direction, or that you assisted, or you acknowledge, or you knew, you're in mourning from jail.
Yep.
If I knew anything, I swear I would tell you. He has mentioned we haven't discussed this. I had no suspicion of anything. He did not tell me any more details of where he went that
Okay.
day other than those traps that I had mentioned.
Okay, Sarah, I hope you have a good day. Love. Thank you
Same.
for coming up.
Take care.
You're so sweet, Bazzer. Veronica said, I'm pretty sure the potato thinks the public hates her just for sending Maddie to sleep with Stephan Stearns. And not that we are furious with all the lies of her involvement we think she's in. Yep.
That's a good point.
Zan said, I think LE is hoping for just that, Sandra. And Sandra said, I have a feeling when he realizes no charges for Jen Soto, who is just as guilty, he will start talking to try to save his own butt. I think he's already there because his parents try to get him to talk to his attorney, and he says his attorney is waiting for trial to talk to him.
Yeah,
So I think he's already there.
Yeah, like we said yesterday, oh no, it's okay. He's gonna flip. There's no way he's gonna keep quiet. At least with the CSAM part, he will flip and, like I said yesterday, try to blame or say Potato was involved in some aspect. So it's gonna happen.
I hope so, because I'm ready to see her go down for some charges. Oh, Barb, thank you for the support. That was so sweet of you. Barb says, what a liar. If she was with her all day, every day, how was she not able to do it? Arrest Jen Soto now, justice for Maddie. Yeah, I mean, you're there every day, all day because you're on disability. So you never leave the house before you got this job that you're in training for, yet you never saw anything ever. And that, to me, the only way that could be possible is if it was normal for Madeline and Stephan to go upstairs and sleep in the bed together, is my first thought, because if they normally just go sleep in the bed together, then you wouldn't know anything. But why would they normally be sleeping in the bed together? Because they're in a relationship that you, for whatever reason, condone, in my opinion. Then we find out that the abuse and pictures seem to have taken place in Maddie's little nook. So how are things going on in Maddie's little nook and nobody knows?
Exactly. See,
you can't. That doesn't even make sense.
Potato does well when a potato says something to us humans, we clearly understand that potatoes don't make sense. They're a little buggy-eyed. They repeat some weird statement over and over about Woody Allen, even though the detective didn't ask about that. But that's a potato.
Yep.
So,
Yep, that's the potato. I'm sorry, Sarah. It does that sometimes.
I'm giving you my truth.
On any of the days that he came home after these suspicious outings, 192 trips, Northport trips, everything else, did he change clothes? Did he come home and appear disheveled, sweaty, dirty?
I don't believe he showered. He didn't bring that many changes of clothes with him, so I know he's repeated his outfit over and over. It's possible he could have come home all sweaty and disheveled after the supposed changing the tire thing, but I wasn't home to see that. But other than that, I didn't see him come home dirty or sweaty or anything like that.
Did he do anything he normally doesn't do within the house around you?
No.
She had to pause and think, and I think it's because she knew that there was a lot of things that were different about that day. Lucky said, but they showed clothes in that drawer in room number 4 of his. They did. And I think abuse happened in room number 4 too. But the pictures that we we know like some of the things they were looking for that were seen in the pictures. There's a list of it. And a lot of it was in Maddie's room, like some specific blankets that would be in her room. Now, she could have taken those blankets upstairs, and I didn't even think about that. She could have had special blankets she used that she took upstairs during the night when she went to sleep and then brought back down during the day. I mean, I think that's a possibility.
Right. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Plus, they saw him in a red shirt and blue shirt. So, again, she is lying. Yep, he changed clothes 3 times that day and did laundry for the first time ever. Titanium, is there a lunar eclipse tonight? I'd love to see it. Barb, thank you again for the support. I appreciate that. That's so sweet of you.
Nice.
Barb said, I love when the detective calls her out and says, no, the digital evidence showed she didn't leave her phone at home all the time, like Potato said. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The digital evidence, yeah. And he's like, she did not leave her phone at home. That was unusual. You're saying it's usual for her to have forgotten her stuff because of the ADHD, and you're lying. Like, again, they're calling her on her lies. So, again, how do we get to this in March, but in July, I keep wanting to say January. In July, it's Stephan worked independently.
It's interesting. I'm still baffled by that. You know, from yesterday when we talked about this,
Me too. I'm pissed about it.
It would be a bizarre tactic. Like I think I said that they would wait so long. Like I said, the only thing I could think was like they bring her in for the CSAM part of the trial and then try to catch her when the defense grills her ass. But it just seems like a weird tactic to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a weird tactic too. Sarah gifted.
Nice. Sorry,
Sarah
I didn't mean
Oh no, you're fine, sweetheart. Sarah gifted 5 Speculation Station memberships, and that was so sweet and supportive of you. I have to take a Polar, or y'all have to tell me if you like the Polar Express clip or the new one better. I'll play the new one again. If you guys were gifted a membership from Sarah, please tell her thank you. And welcome to Speculation Station. I'm coming to pick y'all up right now. Running late. Hold on, here we go. I'm late to Starbucks, late to the live. Y'all better hop in. Those of you getting off better tuck and roll. Got to keep this train moving. Welcome to Speculation Station. Thank you, guys. Some of y'all are saying Polar. Some of y'all are saying the new one. Lana, I've never heard that. Lana says, I think Maddie died in her room downstairs. That's interesting. I've never heard that. I think 4 in the new one. Go ahead, Bazard. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was just gonna say with Maddie, that's I'm sorry, Lana. That was actually a good point. Because then no one else would be down there except supposedly her, and then all the rumors would be upstairs, and it would give him enough time to do the disgusting things that he had to do to her. So I mean, that's a good theory right there.
Do we think it's possible for her? I mean, yeah. I mean, if there was things going on in that room, and nobody ever saw it, then yeah, it's possible for her to be there deceased. That's an interesting theory, Lana.
Because didn't the roommate who said she was hearing noises, it was downstairs at a certain, I forgot what time it was, but she said she heard the noises, like the drill noises or something like that downstairs. Unless I'm getting that mixed up.
No, she heard it that morning downstairs, and there was like tools on the table, she said.
Okay. I never thought of it like that, but that's not a bad theory right there.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. I hadn't thought about that either, and I don't know why. Jenny Jen said, please keep your hands and feet inside the train. Thanks. Yeah, don't bring any hot liquids. They're going to spill. Barb said, I never believe roommates didn't know anything. I call BS. And real quick, Zan said, think of the Dan Markle case. Those conspirators were each charged and tried years apart. And I didn't know that. Interesting point. Sandra said, is that why his boxers were in her room? And that's another interesting point, because I've never been able to figure out why his boxers were laid on top of what appears to be her blue dress from her birthday party in the clothes hamper.
She got some point.
Yeah. Barb said, I don't think they would charge her, sadly. And unfortunately, I'm with Barb on that. I don't think they're going to charge her. But I hope it is at some point.
Mm-hmm.
He was acting very normal, sitting on the computer chair, chatting away with me, talking about updating his phone.
Did he carry tools in his car to change the tire, typically?
I think he said there was a tire iron in the car and the jack.
Did he bring it inside?
I think they're wondering, they're asking that because of the roommate talking about the tools on the table. They're trying to figure out maybe which ones. Kalisa said Jen Soto may have lied that she sent them to room number 4 because it will be more believable that she didn't hear him hurting her versus in her bedroom. Jen would have to know. Good point.
Yeah, this theory is, I can go with this theory. I mean, to me, it would make sense. No, everyone else will be upstairs, and then he can just do his stupid stuff down there, and then no one else will hear it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can go with that.
Yeah, I mean, the more we talk about it, the more it's kind of starting to make sense that it definitely could have been downstairs. Lana said he hit her with the nest he threw on top of her, hiding her body. I noticed the brown liquid near her bed. Sometimes there's purging after death. I mean, it's possible. Diamond Girl, hey, good to see you. So when Stephan Stern's court date comes up, if he don't take the stand, who else besides Jen Soto can testify? His parents could, but it wouldn't help him. Will he then spill what really happened? Good point.
He probably won't take the stand, but I mean, like I said, I think a lot of us believe that he's gonna snitch on her. He'll rat her out.
I think he will too. I think he already wants to. I think that's what the phone calls referencing talking to the attorney are about. Carolina said, when did Stephan Stearns take all those images and videos? Jen Soto caught herself when she said, it's because I was taught never to trust men. She paused because she was going to say, I never trust Stephan. I never trusted Stephan. Yeah.
That's a good point too.
Mm-hmm. Miss King of Anything said much easier to carry her out if he did not have to bring her downstairs. Yep.
That's true.
So Liddy, there was blood on her hands, on her neck, and in her bottom area. We talked about that with the DNA results. There's a video that I put out talking about where they found blood and body fluids on her body. Now, I don't know if those are, and there was blood in her mouth too. I don't know if those are necessarily from her being deceased. I don't think there was a bloody mess when she was deceased. Blood in the mouth would be from strangulation because that has been determined to be the cause of death. But after you die, your body releases all of its fluids, like if you have to use the restroom, like every function that your body does to eliminate toxins. That's why we pee and use the restroom. So that would happen because your body releases all the fluids, basically. Not blood, but the other ones.
Did he leave the car after?
I think he left everything. Everything was in the car.
Did you ever go look at his car
Hey, Lisa.
to verify that he changed his tire?
I don't think I did.
Never dawned on you to go double check. Except by the time he would have got back from the tire, you were gone, right?
Yeah.
What you told us?
Yeah.
That's weird to me too. Just like with the police, it never dawned on you to double check. Like my kids they'll sit in the truck and listen to music on their phone just to get out of the house for a little bit. Like you never, I mean, not even just for her though, to see if she was there. You never checked at all in his car. Why?
Mm-hmm. What if she was just hiding in the car trunk? But it'd be weird that she'd be in the car trunk. But yeah, you just never thought about doing
Reported
that.
missing.
Yeah.
During that.
Yeah, even after the flat tire, I mean, he's resetting his phone the same day your child disappears. All of these things combined into one, and you never thought to check the car to see if your child was there, even for, a deceased body, anything. You didn't check any of these things.
No, well,
You're not
potatoes.
that ignorant.
Potatoes are just potatoes,
Every time you say that, I got potatoes in the kitchen, and you make me want to throw all my potatoes away.
I do. Hey, look, I love my French fries and chopped up potatoes in my stews. Anyway, I almost said the wrong thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
I love potatoes. But yeah, this one, nah, she's just the wrong kind of potato.
Yeah, we need to toss her out. She's rotten.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in the composter. No, I don't want there to be any of her left anywhere. We just have to throw her out.
Yeah, get rid of it. Good riddance.
Good riddance to bad rubbish. Diamond Girl says, Jen Soto seems too anxious to see more pics of the acts. Why would you need to unless they excite you? I think if I saw my daughter in the act, I'd be throwing up. I would be throwing up. I would be going to get that mother trucker.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stop me with them rubber bullets, that taser. You better pull out something, because I'm going to tell you what, the strength that you two grown-ass men ain't going to stop me. That's just me.
That kind of goes into some things I've heard where people think that Jen / Potato was either abusing Maddie herself, or at least somewhat was into that kind of crap, which I've heard some women in relationships with predators are into that kind of stuff too. So it's a possibility that was going on as well.
You think so?
It just, with this particular case, it kind of looks like it, but like I said, it's just the whole thing with her mindset and just the way she presents herself is either she's too stupid and dim-witted, or she's a good manipulator. And I think when they brought up the yesterday video asking her about what kind of like sexual kinks Stern was in, I think they were into some kinky stuff, but she just was like, well, probably allowing Maddie to unfortunately get more of the fucked up parts.
Yeah.
But I think she was freaky and kinky and weird in some particular bizarre fetish.
Yeah. Definitely possible.
Mm-hmm. I like Barb says he likes butt. Yeah.
Barb said
he likes butt.
Yeah. He likes the back door. Yeah. I remember her hearing that. Yeah, no way I'd want to see more pics. She did text. She couldn't risk it with Maddie in the bed with her too. Yep. The steps on the phone. I'm still trying to figure that out. Kay, Diamond Girl said they all three snuggled together. What's her definition of snuggle? Girl.
True.
I'm wondering that myself. And Lucky said, to me, not stupid. It was reported that she made a fake business to collect COVID money to the tune of $80,000. Yeah, I know she had a business where she babysat dogs. I haven't been able to verify the COVID thing, but she made her own LLC. So yeah, I don't think she's very stupid.
That's just the weird part about it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It never dawned on you to.
Sorry, love. Hold on.
Damn, did he really change his tire?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's just the weird part about it. It's like she comes off as either way stupid, dim-witted, or a really decent or half-ass manipulator.
Yep. Yep. I've got those documents left.
Tyler, let me double check.
We got home really late that evening, and I didn't even think of doing that.
This is part of our problem.
Those documents, from what because I put them in a community post a while back, and from what we found on those documents, it was a different Jen Soto. So you got to think about, I mean, even in your state right now, if you type in the name Jen Soto in your court website, I'm sure a lot are going to come up as a common name. So I think from what I've been told that it's not that Jen Soto, it's a different one. But it could be that it is her. I haven't quite figured that one out. That's why I say I'm not sure about it. I haven't figured it out all the way. Abella, thank you for the support. Go ahead, Bazard. I'm sorry, love.
Oh no, let Abellis get the shout out and I'll talk next. It's all right.
Okay. Abellis, thank you for the support. That was so sweet of you. You're so supportive. Thank you. Abella said, just my 2 cents. Bodies don't always release all fluids. In fact, the deceased patients I worked with never did, from children to the elderly. Really? I didn't know that. And thank you for sharing that. Wow, that's interesting.
It could be from case to case, you know. I mean, I still heard, and I currently work in the medical world where it has happened where person I was taking care of either eventually passed away, and I came in that shift to either help with the families getting things prepared, and they did release bodily fluids, and other ones didn't. So it's just 50-50, some do and then some don't.
Yeah. I would think that maybe, like, because it would depend, like if you're working with hospice or something, I know they don't let them have fluids and foods for quite a while right before death, and therefore there wouldn't be any fluids released. But if somebody was probably murdered or something, there wouldn't have been a period where they didn't have any fluids or foods. So maybe that's the difference. I don't know.
Yeah, I never really got into it more with because I had to sometimes deal with like funeral services or the morgue, sometimes the morgue, but no, they never really explained to me why it's like that. I just noticed some do, but I guess it just depends on how long they pass and the circumstance around their passing.
Yeah. Sarah said, I think it's common in traumatic deaths, but I could be incorrect. Barb said, no, absolute in death. Zan said, probably depends on muscle tone, whether they had to go when they died. Yeah. Hio said, help, can you smack the like button, please? Because I'm stuck behind it. Thank you. That was so sweet.
You did so many things and you never questioned it.
I didn't suspect him.
How can we believe some of the stuff that you're telling us, or believe that you don't know?
I don't know how to say it.
She can't even believe it, in my opinion.
I guess I'm stupid and gullible and very trustworthy, but I didn't think he'd be the type to do anything like this. I didn't doubt.
Did you know he was vindictive? You described him as not trustworthy with his family. You described instances where you document where he was lying to his family, lying to you, lying to others.
Lying to his family, yes, but lying to me.
You discussed that he wasn't that good of a person.
Well, I wasn't saying. Well, yeah. If you're gonna pause, yeah, that reaction right there, like from yesterday, when I've been noticing, her body reactions, that's something. If there was another detective there that kind of paid attention to that kind of stuff, I think they would have been like, why is she reacting like that? Like when he said he was lying to you, like, no, he was lying to his family.
Yeah, yeah. He wouldn't do it to me. He does it to them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's normal for
Mm-hmm.
that, but he would never do that to me.
Yeah,
Because and again, I go back to why would he not do that to you? Well, because he trusted me enough to tell me he was in love with my daughter who was underage. I mean,
ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it's like, okay.
that's just me allegedly speculating, but
And it to me, it's just bizarre that Potato, you've been questioned and asked, well, you said, okay, so he's vindictive. He gets angry. He lies to his family over pretty sometimes serious like financial things. But yet you don't think he's gonna do that to you? But then you just told us your mother taught you not to trust men. So what is it, Potato? Come on, Potato, think. Let us know what you think
right.
in that head of yours, Potato. But anyway.
Yep. Miss King of Anything says that her saying he wouldn't lie to me. No, but they thought that he stole Maddie's money. Yep. They did. Absolutely did. I saw someone saying thank you for your service, and I want to thank those of you who are in service, nurses, any kind of help in the public. I do appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
It seems Jen has magical thinking, says Rose Thorne. I don't know if I was able to grab that one, but yeah, it does. Veronica said, never seen a dead body. Even the funerals, I never look in the casket. Never, ever. I have photographic memory. No thanks. I do too, for the most part. Yeah, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize about talking about those things if that's bothering anybody or bringing up any bad memories. I do apologize for that. If you need to email me and talk, you can. Barb says, you sit on a throne of lies, Potato. I'm with you.
I was going to say to Sarah, yes, I just like the word potato. It just comes out of my mouth so easily.
She is. She looks like a couch potato right now.
She really does.
I think it's redacted right now.
It wasn't this family. You're not describing him in a positive light at all. So this trust, this caring, all this stuff makes no sense because you, regardless of the victimization, describe him as a good person. Have no money, but all he's doing is ordering things, right? He's buying himself things. He's not.
But he did steal from you. He did. He stole Battie's Christmas buddy, and then y'all said you found it later.
You described him as a selfish thief. You even called it a robbery, that he robbed his parents. So you're trusting this dude who you're describing as untrustworthy.
But I thought he was.
What happened to her? Where did you that?
And what happened
I
to
can't
her?
fathom
Like,
it.
she keeps giving excuse after excuse for why she saw this and didn't see that. And they're like, we've had enough. What happened to her? Where is she at?
Yeah, they're at that point where, okay, we're done, Jen. Just tell us, what do you know what happened? Where she's at.
Yep.
I can't wrap my head around that.
I think I only asked him if he took her to school when I called him and told him to come to the office. I asked him if you dropped her off at school, right? Because she never made it. And he said, yeah. And I was like, she never made it. Where did you drop her off?
You guys sat in your car Tuesday night when I was out there. I was out there at least 4 hours. Just you two in that car.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you guys did not have any conversations about this. There's no way. A reasonable person would have been questioning him. You were the last person with her. What the hell happened this morning? You never did that in that car.
Ooh.
See how she's talking? Yeah, go ahead, love.
Yeah, I'm just saying this other guy, I can't remember his name, but he's getting her point after point, and I love that. It's like I was literally out there, looking to see where your daughter's at, and then we know you two were in that car for so long. What the hell were you two assholes talking about? Were you discussing anything about Mary? Yeah.
And she's like, nope, we didn't talk about anything at all. Bullshit. You did not
Mhm.
sit in a car with him for 4 hours and not discuss any of this. You
Or
freaking liar.
it's the classic. I don't know. So much was going on.
Yeah, you're not going to sit in a car with somebody for 4 freaking hours and not talk about any of this? Absolutely not.
And like you keep saying, how do they not, for right now that we know of, have not charged her of anything? Yeah, it baffles me.
It
really
does me
does.
too.
Mm-hmm.
While we sit here and she comes up with another
I
lie,
know.
Florida girl said dropping off a so-called autistic girl in a couple of blocks away from the school. And Stephan Starnes played up the autism in the news interview that night as he cried. Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That he did.
I saw that Boomer came in. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, love.
No, I was just agreeing with you like that. He did. Oh, I forgot who posted that, but I was agreeing with them.
Okay. Boomer came in and said, Jim would have been sleeping if they had not called her there. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. Potato gotta get that
KJ
sleep.
said, yeah, always, constantly, all about her sleep. KJ said, previous interview, she said she asked him about school while they were at the house after her doctor's appointment, and they were chatting. And he, reset her phone. That sucks. Oh, yeah. And she says that they sat there in this interview. I believe she references talking about him resetting his phone. And then she catches herself and is like, oh, I meant update. No, you were telling, again, Freudian slip. You told him to reset his phone. And that's what he did. That's what y'all were talking about. And you said you were going to pass it off as an update.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything bad about these detectives. I think they did a good job, but I think if they, in hindsight, paid attention a little bit more to those kind of statements more, that would have been something they could have just grilled on her too. I mean, I feel like this. How long was this? It was 2 hours, almost 2 hours. The interview with her.
Almost.
If they went,
go ahead.
I was just saying if they went a little bit longer, maybe another hour or so, and just grilled her more and more and more, because I don't think she would even bring up, do I need to speak for a lawyer now? She would have just got grilled and grilled. But at the same time, I think she would probably still do this. She'll be quiet to have these awkward, quiet moments for like several minutes while she's trying to think of something. But yeah, I think they could have grilled on her a little bit more on the certain aspects we just brought up.
Yep. And they catch her like everything we're catching, they are catching. And I'm just like, how? I mean, because they know they're detectives and they're catching her, calling her on her bullshit as well. So again, how did we go from this to nothing? Because I mean, you can tell that they want her to admit to information that they know she knows.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
If they don't charge her with anything, it will be. And I'm not going to shit on the detectives and the authorities down there. They did a good job of this case, and at least finding Maddie and getting fucktard Stearns into where he is right now. But I just don't know how it seems like they're dropping the ball with Potato. It just doesn't make sense. If like I've always tell people, if I did some criminal act and they caught me making so many inconsistencies and lies, but yet I don't get charged, I would be like, oh, well, I guess I can get rid of anything and do whatever I want because the police are stupid, I guess.
Yeah. Any one of us, any one of you lovely Speculation family members or myself go in the police station and do this, we're not coming home. We're going to jail.
Yeah.
I mean,
either she is lucky as I don't know what, or they have some 40 chess grand plan. It's like it's the
Yeah,
craziest thing ever.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Florida girl asked, has anyone heard if Jill was truly admitted to a mental institution, as Deb Stearns said in the phone call with Stephan Stearns? So all I can tell you about that is there is another creator who talked to a roommate of hers, supposedly. I don't know. I was not there. I did not see. But it's a roommate that's supposed to have been a former roommate. And that person said that they physically took her to the mental institution. That's all I know about that. I mean, that's not something we would ever be able to verify because that's HIPAA and privacy and all that. That's all I know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Lee said, I wanted them to ask Jen if she would send Maddie to sleep in another room when Jen needed sleep when the pig wasn't there. Good question. I wish they would have asked her that too.
Didn't she say that Maddie, by the time, I guess what, that would be 12, 11, and 13, that she would still do that even when he wasn't around? That she
She
would go
would,
sleep with Jen?
yeah, supposedly she was still sleeping in Jen's bed, but when Stephan wasn't there and she needed a good night's sleep, like she says, what did she do? Even when they were all three sleeping in the bed together and she supposedly needed a good night's sleep, where did Madeline go? Like, you expect me to believe that you just needed
Mm-hmm.
a good night's sleep from June until February? None of these other times when y'all were together in a relationship?
Yeah, Lisa Lee, you definitely hit the mark on that. Like I said, I think they did a good job. I just think that maybe if they had maybe another hour or maybe let's say 2 hours, because I've seen longer interrogation videos before, and they just grilled her a little bit more, and maybe something else would have came out, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I remember being on my phone. He was on my phone for a little bit. I know I was medicated and I was just zoning out. I wasn't thinking anything of anything. I never asked him. Just asking him that one time to me was, if you took her to school, that was enough answer for me. I don't know. I just wanted to think.
Jenny Jen said she said when Stephan wasn't there, Maddie either slept with her or she sent her alone to room number 4. So that's interesting. I'd love to know where we found that. I don't remember hearing that. Yeah, on the immunity interview, law enforcement did ask her. Jen Soto said Maddie never slept alone in room number 4. That's what I remember. But I could be wrong. Jen,
You're
you
right,
were always
Lana.
zoned out. That's
Yeah.
Sorry, love. Go ahead.
And I was agreeing with Lana. I was like, yeah, you're definitely right about that, Lana.
Yeah. Carolina said, exactly. We would have been thrown in jail for neglect of a child so quick, it would have made our heads spin. I'm praying Mr. J has something up his sleeve, charged Jen Soto with neglect, abuse, and lying.
Yeah.
Why a mother would allow a grown man to sleep in the same bed as their daughter is beyond me, said Tony. Yep.
They're sickos, the ones that do that. That's why I think they're perverted in that sense too, from the cases that I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Potato falls in that ballpark of being one of those perverted moms that know what's going on and might participate in some aspects too.
I mean, yeah, and that's where I'm at, and I think that's where most of the public is.
Because yeah, even if she was not knowing what was going on, it just still outside looks like you were allowing it, or at very least, if you might have hinted but didn't stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Jenny Jones said, I believe it's at the very end of the immunity one. It's Detective Mark that asked her. I may be confused, but I know for sure Mark asked her. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're going to talk about the immunity one tomorrow. I'm trying to finish this one out today if we can. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. But I just didn't think he did anything. Now I know. But then I didn't. I was still believing everything he was telling me.
Juvenile robbery suspects utilize the excuse of I was high on bars, I took Xanax, I was blacked out. Right? Every juvenile robbery suspect you interview, I was in your words medicated, in their words high, incapacitated, drunk. It's an excuse to avoid admitting what happened. When you say you're medicated, I can't think of an amount of medication that will numb you so bad to numb the fact that the investigation is occurring right in front of your face, but you're missing. So being medicated is just an excuse to avoid answering why you didn't discuss with him what happened. It minimizes your guys' interaction by saying you were not fully coherent. But there's a person I know who can sit in a car and watch a bunch of detectives and crime scene investigators and everybody else search her house, seize her house, and be so numb that that's some is little medication. There's no way.
There is no way. It doesn't make sense.
He's burning her a new asshole, and I am happy for it. I'm happy for it. He's laying it
Me
out.
too.
There's no. I've have relatives that have to take, certain type of medication, what she has or somewhat similar, and it's like even they can still be alert to a degree and know if something's going on. But Potato is like, well, I guess Stinky. They're just checking the things out in their apartment, but everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yep. Absolutely. It's ridiculous. I love how they're calling her on her BS as well. Yeah, we still got about 30 minutes of this interview, and then we're going to do the immunity one. I think I just realized how late it is, and I do have to get dinner started. So I think I'm probably going to have to go for the day. But tomorrow, if you all will come back, we'll finish the end of this one, and we'll get into the immunity interview if you guys would like to do that.
Sounds good.
Yes. And if you have time, I know you work, but if you have time, come back up because everybody loves your input. They like because you're a male, and so it's interesting to have a male aspect in these cases.
Appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. They're in the chat here and there.
Yeah. You and Eddie give good input because, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. The women, too. I love everybody that comes on panel. But a lot of people say because there's not a lot of males in the true crime community, so it's interesting when we get to hear your input.
I've noticed that, too. Either the women creators that are having their face shown, or they do like the audio related, and some men that do that. But yeah, you're right. I've only noticed that. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't have dinner ready tonight, so I am going to have to go and cook, unfortunately. But we will jump right back into this tomorrow, and we'll talk about immunity as well.
Awesome. What's for dinner tonight?
I don't know yet. I've got some chicken I need to pull. I cooked a whole chicken the other night, and I need to pull that. So we're either going to do chicken Alfredo, or I've got some hamburger meat, but I made chili last night. Like that was already going and almost done. I could do some kind of like hamburger with pasta recipe, but I think I'm going to end up pulling the chicken and doing Alfredo. So that'll take me a little while. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It takes a hot minute.
Yeah.
But all right.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's fine. I was gonna say, well, enjoy making your dinner, and I will catch you and everyone else tomorrow.
All right. I thank you so much, and I really appreciate you. I hope you have a good night.
You do the same. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye. Bad Girl said, kill bosses. I'm just saying. Would be nice, wouldn't it? Can we get some kielbasa with the fried potatoes? Oh, makes me so frustrated. I need this potato to fry. Tony says we're having chicken Alfredo too. Pot roast in the crock and potatoes in the crock pot. I need to get a crock pot. I like those dinners you can start in the morning and just eat them later that night. Everybody's saying thank you, Bazard. I don't know if you see that, but thank you. Thank you, everybody. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button. You can become part of our Speculating family by just hitting that subscribe button. So make sure you do that and become part of the family. Thank you all so much. I really enjoyed this stream today, just like I do all the streams where you guys have so much input and so much thoughts. There's so many thoughts, opinions, and speculations to add. Just like today, talking about, I think Lana said it, the possibility that the homicide could have been committed in Maddie's room. Nobody had ever thought about that, and that's a new avenue we need to go down. So I really appreciate you guys. I hope you have the best night ever. I will definitely be back tomorrow, just like every day at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I hope to see y'all here. We'll continue this interview and talk about immunity for what? I don't know, but that's what was offered, derivative immunity. So come back tomorrow and we'll talk about it. And thank y'all so much for being here. I hope you have a good night. If you ever need to talk about anything, make sure to email me. Also, check out Sandra Firelight. She's been releasing some new information on Sarah Boone. So make sure you check her out. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.